Hello everybody and welcome back to another day of Gloomhaven. I'm going to apologize in advance that my throat is just a little bit sore here today. I'll try my best to weather through it. I mean, it's been getting progressively sore and sore this last week. I think I'm getting sick somehow. I don't know. It's kind of nonsense because I've already been sick twice this winter, but whatever. Can't do anything about that. Anyway, so just that as a form of apology. Yeah, we're going to be getting back into the main campaign today. We're going to begin. So the votes were heavily in favor of adding a third character immediately and playing three-handed. Happy New Year, Isio. Yes, that's a good call. Happy New Year to everyone who's watching. Thank you. It's okay. I don't worry about it too much. I'll be fine in the end. I mean, it's been going for a week. I don't even know what it is. Maybe it'll be an infection of some sort or something like that. Some nonsense. But yes, Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy to be in 2019 with all of you. All right, so as I was saying, we have decidedly chosen as a group that we will just like this. Sorry, that excuse me. There we go. All right, that we'll be playing three characters. We'll be adding an unlockable class today. So all that's left to do is to vote on that unlockable class. I will link that into chat right now. The voting, I'll leave maybe 10 minutes. I'll start setting up the scenario, I think. I'll link the voting again in a few minutes once more people show up. And anyone who hasn't voted is welcome to vote for which class we'll play. We'll add to our tight-knit little party here. All right, so what do we have in terms of scenarios to do? Let's get that whole line. You got that whole line as well. Why don't we do scenario 43? I think that's reasonable. That'll allow us to continue down the kind of main quest line. I think it's a reasonably balanced scenario. Shouldn't be too difficult with any sort of party. Oops, we're one off, almost. Guess I should set all these to not people not seeing them. There we go. All right, so let's change the title then to say that we'll be doing scenario 43. There we go. I need to change this in here as well. Five. All right, there we go. Edit that in there and there. All right, so let's start setting up, and we'll leave some time for people to vote a little bit today, and then we'll go with whatever gets the most votes to add to the party. All right, let's see here. Looking forward to it because we're going to get to play. Well, there's at least a 50% chance that we get to play a class that we never got to play on our previous campaign our previous stream campaign. So it's pretty fun. All right. There's all of our tiles. Just move this slightly. All right. Excuse me. All right. So this is our big center thing, just like that. Sorry, I might end up talking slightly less today than usual. I mean, just while doing stuff like this, just not necessarily rambling on in the background again, just because of the throat. But I will still certainly be discussing strategy today. All right, let's lock all these in place, and let's start setting up doors. So we've got I should copy them the correct way. Okay. So what do we need? We need 6 stun traps. So not super valuable traps, just having stun by themselves, so we don't have to bring our pushes. All pushes can still help with executes. I think our decks have been boss-based recently, so I'll also have to change that. Are we level 9 yet? Oh dear, we are level 9. Oh, yeah, we gotta retire. Oh no, we're not supposed to. No, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I just said scenario 4. No, I'm going to change. I apologize to everyone who thinks it's scenario 43. I've got to change. I forgot we have to do a retirement scenario. I mean, I guess we can do this 1 second, so I'll just continue. I mean, I guess I can just unlock all this stuff. And then I can just move it. We'll put it out of the way up there. And this way we can play this scenario second today. Because I forgot we actually need to do a scenario which will fulfill our retirement goals. So what do we need? We need to kill a living something with his axe. All right. So that's, yeah, let me just change the title. Well, let's figure out what we're going for. Sorry about this. I should be a bit more prepared today. All right, do we have any unlocked scenarios that we have not completed that will give us a living something? We do, right? No, but there we can't actually kill the living things on the chain dial. Definitely not doing that, although I don't think it has anyway. To the best of my knowledge, Demonic Rift won't. So I guess we have to repeat a scenario that we've previously done. All right. So what should that be? One of these that we haven't done much. I think Ruinous Crypt we've only done once. All right, how about scenario 5 then? Yeah, it's a little boring to be repeating a scenario, unfortunately, but yeah, sure. That one we've only done once. It's a relatively short scenario, which should let us get through 2 scenarios today. Tell me it has 6 traps? Ah, almost. All right, so I've got to change the title now. Sorry about this, everyone. Like I said, it will be scenario number 5 in the end. I forgot that we had to hit a retirement for our other 2 characters. Dirtling quite a bit there. All right, let's update this here as well. All right. So oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right. I'll relink the straw poll again soon, just a minute or two. We'll get the last opportunity for people to vote, and then we will unlock our character and do things we need to do. All right, what do we need for here? So this is always incorrectly set up, right? I forget. So it's the names which are correct. No, it's the images which are correct. The names which are incorrect. There should not be corpses. That's the thing. I believe, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah, this one messes with me every time. So living bones. It's really off-putting to look at the things differently than what they're supposed to be. Where are my cultists? There they are. Flame demons, frost demons, and night demons, right? This was actually the scenario we were going to do if we needed to get both of them, but in the end the Tinker got his before, so we just need the one. Alright. Flame demons, frost demons, we go here. I know, better to separate the night demons and the cultists so we don't accidentally mix them up. Okay. Alright, I don't know if we grabbed both these chests. I think we did 4 and 28. I can always double check. That's what this is here for. 28 we grabbed, and 4 we grabbed as well. Okay, easy enough. So there are no chests, so we've got 6 rubble, 1 altar. How valuable are the traps here? They're damage traps, which are pretty valuable. Even if the... Oh yeah, I'm an idiot, I already got those out. Yeah, that's everything. So the first room just has the 4 traps set up. So we do definitely want some sort of push here, although we have the compass still. So we shall see. We have spring trap as well, which I guess can be quite decent in this room. It can very easily just be a direct damage ability, which does, I mean, certainly a competitive amount of damage. Alright, and so for a 3-player party, we have top right, so we've got 1 elite, 1 regular Night Demon, and 3 regular cultists. So the first room is definitely the hardest room in this scenario, but we can get a pretty nice head start actually, and with a number of different tools at our disposal. All right, well that's all the setup we have to do there. So I'm just gonna, I mean I know there's not many more people here yet, but I'm still just gonna post the straw poll one last time to give anyone who is here the chance to vote. Go ahead and vote. This is again voting for which unlockable class we will play next. We'll be adding to our party immediately. So it's triangles or triforce, angry face, 3 spears, or sun. After the voting, and if there's a tie, then I'll decide in case of a tie. With another minute to wait for that, we will then unlock that class, set it up, and then get into the scenario. Oh, we're waiting. Isio, how was, what did you do for New Year's? Did you do anything special? Or New Year's Eve? We didn't. We watched Harry Potter on Netflix. I mean, well, which is kind of special. It was awesome. But all right. So I guess while we're waiting as well, standard stuff on my end. Fair enough. We need to swap in the Skullbane Axe and swap out these 2 items. And over here, oh, and then we also need to set up our decks correctly. So we have the Helix Ring, and we got to level 9 now. So we can actually use the Helix Ring, but it would require a minor mana potion. Because dark can pretty easily be created, but light less so. We would need the mana potion for light. I think that's not too much of a problem. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small items right now. So in that case, we would need to just swap out our minor. Is she level 9? Yes, she did get to level 9. Like I said, we're retiring after this scenario. Don't you worry. We already took long con at the end of our last time. So yeah, in this case, it just makes sense to swap out our minor healing potion for a minor mana potion. And start actually putting items away in their correct spots as well. I also need to swap in the correct versions of those potions now. All right. So with a minor mana potion, it does take a little bit more work because I have to set it up in advance. I mean, technically I have a minor mana potion here as well, but this way it's just fine to have 2 of them. Makes it easier for us to use this Helix Ring. We could sell it, but I think it's fine to keep it. I mean, heal 25 is a bit much for us, but it's still a full heal. Obviously, we have to be careful with poison, but still, I think it's pretty great. That being said, I mean, we're playing with 2 level 9 characters, so it's not like it's going to matter so much. Stuff like this, we have the long con, we just get to chain CC people, but still. Speaking of the long con, let's set up the Scoundrel's deck real quick while we wait for the remainder of the voting. Anyone who's arriving just now, as I see a couple more people have come in, if you do want to be involved in the voting, just let me know. The voting is for which unlockable class we'll play. If you need, I can link it again. All right. So does Smoke Bomb do something in the first? I mean, I guess our deck is based off the room, and we're supposed to do the character first. It doesn't really change too much. All right, backstab away. This, I think we'll take Smoke Bomb probably. Spring the Trap, like I said, looks good here. Open Wound is obviously good. Burning Oil is good. Flanking Strike is good. Swift Bow. Well, the scenario should be pretty easy, so we can certainly loot. Definitely want that. And we probably want this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we just cut backstab and put in long con. Oh no, we want Visage for sure. Ooh. Alright. So now we have a bit of a conundrum, huh? So do we just not bring Smoke Bomb, then is the question. I think the answer is probably yes. I mean, I think the answer is probably yes. That's correct. We did not bring Smoke Bomb. We should be able to use Visage in the first room without needing Smoke Bomb, and then after that, I would rather just have my other cards rather than Smoke Bomb. All the other cards are quite good. I mean, Flanking Strike could theoretically be cut, but the Move 5 Jump is nice. Yeah, I mean, all our cards are just good at this point. All right. I think this is a pretty nice looking level 9 deck. Obviously, Spring the Trap just depends on the scenario. Okay, and where are the Mindthief's cards? I think they'll pretty much be the same as before, except maybe we do want the push, although we don't want to go in too heavily on trying to use those traps. I mean, we have Spring the Trap. We don't necessarily also want the push. Is it easy to push something into them? Yes and no. You can only push through one of them very easily, but that can still be decent. Also can help with Visage down the road. What can we possibly cut, though, as the Mindthief? Also, we're putting our cards all one too high. Because the other class select should be the first player. Okay, yeah, so these are all our cards. We basically want every single one of these. It's possible we just don't bring the push then. All right. We can make our last minute substitutions. It also just depends if our party has push or not, so we do need to see what the last person's going to be. All right, I'm going to the poll now, so anyone who has voted or who has not voted yet, this is your last chance to say something. Otherwise, we're going to the results. All right. Well, the results are quite clear, heavily in favor of Triforce, so that's great. I actually don't mind that at all. I haven't had the chance to play Triforce yet, so that's pretty cool. Pretty happy with that. It does mean one thing, which I'm not super happy with. Well, I mean, whatever. I can't pretend that I'm really that unhappy. Which is that we are going to be playing a 3-player party still. Even after we retire our 2 other characters, we're going to stick with 3-player because I really don't very much like playing Triforce in 2-player. All right, so Triforce, just putting this in the title and putting it in the post on the subreddit as well, just to make sure. For spoilers. All right, I think we've updated everything that we need to update. All right, let's unlock Triforce. So everyone who's watching, you've been warned. We are unlocking Triforce now. That will be the spoiler here. In the VOD, obviously, that'll be noted on the VOD itself. All right, so Triforce is the Elementalist. Theoretically, my favorite class in the game. I mean, what should have been my favorite class in the game, I guess is how I should put this. In the end, actually isn't in practice, and I mean, it is Themris' favorite class in the game, but even Themris agrees that there's just I mean, if you just changed one card on this class, it would make the class so much better. Well, there's really 2 things that need to be changed on this class. One is simply removing Primal Duality. This card is too much of a problem. And the second thing is using the dual element symbols for his modifiers to allow his modifier flips to produce one of either 2 elements you wanted, rather than simply producing one. It's funny because we theorized this idea for fixing class even before the Forgotten Circles actually added the dual element mechanic. It's really a shame because it would have just made this class so much better. I mean, in terms of what it wants to do. Why I'm super happy about getting to play this today, though, first of all, I mean, all right, it's a class that I've only ever played to retirement twice. Neither time have I ever gotten to level 9. So that's what first thing. Second thing is, level 5 is, in my opinion, the single most interesting level for this class, actually. And we are Prosperity 5, so we're going to start at level 5. Level 6 is also still quite good. Like 5 and 6 are really the sweet spot for this class. Once you hit level 7 with this class, unfortunately, the dynamic of how the class works really changes in a way that is, in my opinion, not a good thing. Not positive, at least in terms of, the class functioning the way it's supposed to. It does certainly make the class better, but it doesn't make it more fun, I think. It kind of goes away from what the class is supposed to do originally. Yeah, so getting to start this class at level 5 is perfect. I mean, starting it anywhere at 4 or 5 either of these would have been fine. But yeah, so I'm super excited for that. All right, so we have 2 check marks from lineage, and we're starting at prosperity 5, so we will get 4 plus 2, 6 total perks to begin with. So we'll begin by doing that. But actually, before we do that, for this class, we actually have to decide how we're going to build the class. Because our perks are going to give us elements, and our elements are actually going to have to do with the cards that we take. So the first thing we can do is actually set our level appropriately. So I can just click this all the way up. So what, our starting gold is 90. So we'll do that as well. And what else is cool is we're going to get to use some of these random item designs that we picked up. Hopefully we have a nice pair. I'm not sure if we do or not, but we'll see. All right. Check, 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 check. All right. I am also taking suggestions for naming of this class. All right. Let's put you up there. So the Elementalist is a range, squishy class, low HP pool, 10 card hand size. Functions very heavily with the element board. All right, let's get all our stuff over here. So we need to do our leveling up. What the? No, I don't know why I thought this was next. All right. What's interesting with the level 2 choice is I actually think that Boiling Arc is a better card at level 2, but obviously Crystallizing Blast scales better. I don't think either of these scale particularly well, at least until you enhance Curse on this, and I think it's a shame to enhance. I mean, I think it's correct to enhance Curse on this, but it's also another thing that's a mess with this class. That enhancement dot shouldn't be there. Anyway, Boiling Arc at least does respectable damage, but it does have melee, which is kind of bad. It especially scales badly. Ice is also a slightly better element for the Elementalist, although both of these elements are good. But in the end of the day, if we were starting at level 2, I might be more tempted to take Boiling Arc. Starting at level 5, I'm definitely taking Crystallizing Blast. So that goes away. And then we go here. All right. So here we have Chain Lightning and Burial. So Burial's top is a loss, which requires Earth and Dark, and can be up to an attack 6, range 4 AoE, which also curses and immobilize. Quite a powerful loss, although this class also wants to play a persistent loss typically quite early on, so it has less flexibility to play a bunch of losses. But we'll get into that in a little bit. And meanwhile, on bottom, we've got an attack 3, range 4, which creates Dark. Okay, on the bottom here, comparatively, we have heal 3, range 4, which creates Light. Both these elements are more or less equally useful. Neither one is really better than the other. And obviously attacking is better than healing. Scales better as well. Also gives us another modifier flip, all that's so-so. I really love Chain Lightning though. Chain Lightning's top. I think this is such a cool, iconic card for this class. So attack where X is equal to 4, range 3. Attack X minus 1 on new enemy within range 2 of the first target, then attack X minus 2 on a third enemy within range 2 of the second target. And then you can add +1 attack and pierce with light, and you can add fourth enemy with wind. This is just a really, really cool loss. I think it's so much fun to use this top. That being said, Burial is just the better card because of the bottom, which is really a shame. I think this bottom could just be buffed. Honestly, maybe making it like a heal 4 range 4. That's really good compared to everything else. Maybe this should just be nerfed. I don't really know. But anyway, in the end of the day, even though I definitely prefer Chain Lightning's top to Burial, I mean, I think it's a better loss. It's also just a much more fun loss. I just don't think you can justify it when the bottom Burial is so good. And this class doesn't have that many good bottom actions. I mean, well, it does because it moves to create elements a lot, but as far as like non-move, just when you need some extra damage, Burial is just a better card. We'll hold this as a side though, because it's possible we can come back and revise this depending on which direction we go with our build. Because I'm not sure if we're going to go for Earth or for Wind. So we'll set Chain Lightning aside here. All right. Then we get to level 4, and so this is actually the one card in the class that should not exist as it is. I mean, the bottom of Primal Duality should be something other than what it is, quite simply. The bottom of Primal Duality ruins this class because theme of this class is, well, with your level 7 and level 9 cards is, well, the theme of the class is that you're supposed to start off with your 4 primal elements, and, I mean, I don't know why I say primal here, but the 4 base elements, which are, lightning, wind, ice, fire, and earth, and eventually you learn how to master these elements, which gives you some new untold powers, okay? Having one card which provides you both these elements very easily with nice initiative and on a move, it just makes it way too easy, and it makes the 2 cards later on at level 7 and 9, which use these two elements, much too easy to use. There's just no effort because you just play this bottom, and then the next turn you get to play one of those tops. So this card is actually the card which ruins this class more than any other card this class has. Um, this bottom specifically. So yeah, this is a real shame. But at the end of the day, we're playing this class to play correctly. So this we are certainly taking over Gravel Vortex, which is honestly an okay card. The attack 2, target all adjacent enemies is like, it's kind of tough. What you have to do is you have to move in late and then run out, and you're still hoping to flip things, but it's kind of weird because this already gives you these two elements, but theoretically you're looking for some, I mean, another element that pairs with one of these two, which is either fire or ice, because ice pairs with wind and fire pairs with the earth. It's kind of awkward in general, but it's an alright card, but I mean, certainly not primal duality. All right. So that can go away for now. So this is presumably what we've taken. Yeah, but we're setting this aside. All right, and then level 5, we have our first real choice now, which is Winter's Edge or Obsidian Shards. All right. So this is interesting because Winter's Edge is truly the better card here, simply because it's always an attack 5, right? An attack 5 range 2 at level 5 is fine. And then sometimes it can be a lot better than that, especially against shielded enemies. Obsidian Shards, you have to get the element for it actually to be a good card. Otherwise, it's actually a bad card. The shield oneself is also certainly less useful than the heal 2 range 2. So in general, both halves of this are really better than both halves of this, unless you can consistently have these elements. But we're creating ice here. So that also sits more with Winter's Edge. All right, let's see what we're doing at higher levels. So level 6, we always take Simulacrum. Level 7, we always take Vengeance. Level 8, I don't remember what we take here. Some nonsense stuff? Do you go back and take something else from earlier? Maybe. Is it Pragmatic Reinforcement that we take at 8? 8 is the nonsense level. So this class requires a lot of thinking ahead because we've got to decide kind of which element path we're going down in the long run here. So Pragmatic Reinforcement. Well, it can use anything. The better is the bottom, though, for sure, which is Fire, Dark, and Wind. Otherwise, here it's Fire and Ice. So we do prefer Fire generation. I mean, but this generates Fire. It doesn't use it, but I think that's kind of fine. So either one of these that we end up taking, we'd rather have Fire, either Fire and Ice and Fire and Wind. And even up here, Ice is better. So we never really want Earth. Earth is really the worst element for this. Yeah, I know. It's kind of Rip Chain Lightning, right? It's such a shame. That's basically what I'm going through all this for, is just in the hope that somehow I can look ahead and convince myself that I can actually take Chain Lightning, but it just doesn't seem like it's ever happening. I just want to want it, you know? I want to play it. All right. So again, Earth is really the worst element for us, followed by Wind, generally speaking. Fire and Ice are the two best elements. We've always known this, though. So in this case, both of these use one of those elements, but this actually uses the worst element, and Ice is technically kind of even better than Fire. So this is like the first and the third versus the second and the fourth. And this also creates Fire, whereas this creates Ice, but this, I mean, this is with an action you never want to use, whereas this is an action you do want to use. If we use this, we can... I mean, how do you ever create Chain Lightning? I don't think you ever do. No. Yeah, all right. All right. Well, at the end of the day, we're gonna take the correct cards, even though it might be less fun. To be honest, I haven't played this class enough that I want to just go off and do fun builds. I think I'd rather just do the correct build here and then worry about having fun, which is kind of a sad thing to say. If we ever play this class again. Give me just 1 second to blow my nose. I apologize. Yeah, no fun allowed while min-maxing indeed. We had some fun though with something, didn't we? We did something which was a nonsense build. Oh no, that was just well, yesterday we did the Doomstalker jumping Dooms build. Um, so the only other thing we could consider that could possibly change this for us is that I think there's a decent chance that I'm gonna maybe, take reserve the right to choose one of the party members myself and actually take a Spellweaver, because I've never gotten the opportunity to actually play this class with a support Spellweaver. The thing is, it just seems kind of derpy to do this because once you get level 7, you don't really care about the other elements that the Spellweaver can create for you. But it does seem like it could be kind of fun. And this could also be, I mean, this would at least allow us to use the super terrible perks that the Spellweaver has. What are those actual perks? Hold on, I gotta go. I can actually just look at the guide for. No, it's actually gonna be faster to do it like this. How are those elements paired? It's always gonna be. Let's see. This would actually give us the opportunity to use some of the worst perks in the game to actually do something. We can see if it's actually even worth taking them then. So how is it? It's light. Oh, so it pairs wind and earth. Yeah. So that doesn't really change anything. So that still makes it exactly the same. It's a little bit easier for the Spellweaver to create fire. So theoretically, fire and earth could happen from the Spellweaver. I want obsidian shards, but it's just not realistic. Let's look at our level 1 cards that create elements. Yeah, this card is just the worst as well. It's just not a very good card. Well, it doesn't give us much push. This is the best card, which creates fire. I mean, this one creates ice, so we always just want it. The wind creation one is also pretty meh. But again, so this is the fire and ice, which are the good cards. And then, yeah, this, because it consumes the fire, which also makes it good. Yeah, this is melee with earth, which is terrible. Yeah. All right. We're going to build it correctly this time. And like I said, maybe in the future, we'll come back at some point. So this means we don't necessarily need to bring a Spellweaver with us because we're pretty self-dependent. All right. So these are the cards we take with leveling up. So we take Crystallizing Blast, Burial, Primal Duality, and Winter's Edge. And again, I do believe that these are the correct choices to take when leveling up, unfortunately. What's interesting is we don't want Earth, which means we'll never use the top of Burial, but we'll just never use the top of Burial. So I think that's fine. I mean, Burial we take for the bottom, not the top anyway. And we have other things we can do with losses. So I think it's not a big deal that we have this element symbol there, which is just never, or element consume symbol there, which is never getting used. All right. So let's see the rest of the cards we're actually supposed to take then, shall we? So like I said, we want the ice creates a stun. This is pretty obvious. We want the move creates an ice. We want the fire creates AoE good damage and wound. So this leaves us with just a few cards to take. We almost always want the bottom of Formless Power. This is the persistent loss I'm talking about. Once during your attack, during each of your attack actions, you may consume any one element to add +1 attack to the entire attack action. This is very good persistent loss for this class. Both halves of this card actually just fine, but this is a very nice persistent loss for this class simply because at least until level 6, and I think usually at level 6 you replace this, you end up with random elements floating around quite frequently, and this allows you to use them. So it really increases your power level significantly. So this leaves us with 2 cards to take. All right, so imagine we don't have much movement. Well, this can theoretically be a move 4, because Crystallizing Blast is pretty mediocre at level 5. You don't need this top so much. Otherwise, we have small movement on bottom and a bottom attack. I mean, I guess, how many bottom actions do we actually have right now? So Burial is exclusively bottom. Primal Duality is exclusively bottom. This, I mean, is either a top or a loss. This is exclusively a top. This is pretty much exclusively a top. This is exclusively a bottom. This can really be either, but wants to be a top. So this is more like a bottom. So yeah, I mean, we've got a bit of flexibility here, but again, we have one move 4, so we do kind of want another big move. All right, what do we have over here? This is where we can viz someone, kind of derpy move, malleable evocation. I think this card is terrible, right? It's been a long time. Yeah, so if you get a ton of elements, this can be decent, but it's just not very realistic. Yeah, so this card is is it even possible to be stun saturated? I don't think it is possible to be stun saturated. I mean, on boss fights, right? If you do a boss fight and you have too many stun abilities, you probably don't have enough damage. So yeah, fair enough. But yeah, otherwise probably not. Yeah, I think this card's garbage. Let's actually look through. So by default, it doesn't do anything, and it really needs wind and fire And that's decent, but even then it's still range 2 now. As for the bottom, with just fire, it can be a decent move actually as a move 5, but it still requires fire for that. As is, we currently produce realistically like 1 fire and we use 1 fire, so we don't necessarily want to have to use fire. No, I think we just never want these cards. I think all the X's, surprisingly for this class, are not very good. I mean, well, this is fine at level 1, and this can also be okay at level 1, but yeah, we don't need either of those now. So we still got 2 cards to take, and these are all the remaining cards. So we know we don't want this. Maybe we'll take Lava Eruption, potentially. This would allow us to create wind and ice together, which allows us to do Winter's Edge. That's not bad. So that's a maybe for sure. Frigid Torrent, yeah, is definitely a no. Tremulent Cyclone, I guess, is kind of tempting. So the biggest reason Tremulent Cyclone can actually be decent, we never want this, but it's just a top action, simply because if we just create wind with something, and then we use any element by using the bottom of Formless Power, this still gives us an attack 3, range 3, 3 hex that also pushes. So that can also make this decent. It's basically Formless Power that actually can make this card right. But also just getting one of these things with more movement is probably the correct choice. This bottom is no good. Oh, the top here, though, I'd forgotten about this. Yeah, so Shaping the Aether actually has a good top. So we actually kind of also want that. Problem is, Earth is actually the best effect on this one. I mean, to be able to get Earth and Ice, but we don't create Earth. That's the one issue. Should we just try to cut out Wind altogether and give up ever using Winter's Edge? Is that the better way? Man, I do love all the theory crafting for this class. This is what's so fun about this class, I think. Theoretically, like trying to set up how you set up your element build. This is what's so cool, and it's a shame that again, once you get to level 7 with level 4 card, just throws this out the window. It's also a shame, like I said, that the element modifiers just don't work in your deck because you just have too many modifiers. They need to, like I said, have the multi type. All right, I think we have to have a bigger movement though. So we have to take one of these no matter what, because otherwise we just don't have enough movement. So which one of these do we take? We're never using these for the top. They're always going to be for the bottom. In that case, wind and fire. Ice and earth is actually looking pretty good though, just because of the top of Shaping the Ether. So if we just, I mean, if we ignore wind entirely, it's not a huge deal because there's just Winter's Edge that cares about it. Otherwise, none of our other stuff actually cares about it at all. But Winter's Edge can be good with it. But then that's fine, right? Because then we can always just create wind using a mana potion one time when we need to use Winter's Edge. So I think cutting wind entirely is actually the best plan. So that means we get rid of these two as well. So then do we want a little bit of earth? So if we want earth, then this brings us back to the difficult question of should we actually be playing obsidian shards? So if we're cutting wind entirely, then we probably want this. Because with ice, this can, yeah, I mean, at least for now. It does increase in range, yes. It goes up to 4 range and gets Pierce 4. Yeah, if it didn't increase in range, well. I mean, there's no doubt that enhancing, powering up Winter's Edge is good. I mean, where's Themis when you need him? Expert of this class. Like I said, just don't have enough experience with this class. All right, I mean, I know we want to play this, and we're always using this for a top. So we're like this, I think. So if we went for wind instead of earth, this would be better for us because then we could use this bottom more conveniently. We would have this. The downside of that would be that we would be making Shaping the Ether worse. But at the same time, we can just cut Shaping the Ether soon, but it's just so good. Being able to get a 2-target stun is so good. But the problem is it requires opposite elements, things which do not pair together. Ice and earth. Those are the 2 most important things here. So we kind of have like 2 things, really 3 things where ice is important. So like I said, ice is just the most important. We have 2 things where fire is important, 1 thing where ice is important, 1 thing where earth is important. And then theoretically, one of our bottom moves, these are much less important. I wouldn't even count these so much. I'm never using the tops. I don't know, ECO, what do you think? Do we go back to try Obsidian? Obsidian Shards is also just kind of silly because Simulacrum just replaces Obsidian Shards once you get to level 6. I mean, Simulacrum is just so much easier to use than Obsidian Shards and get the similar effect. Obviously, the idea is you can theoretically do it 2 turns in a row. Do we just give up on being able to get the 2 target and Shaping Ether? It's so valuable. But if we abandon that, then we don't need to worry about Earth, and then we can worry about Wind a little bit for this. I mean, I can abandon needing to worry about producing ice, but I'll have the ice from the Mindthief. But for now, I've only got one form of ice production in the bottom Infernal Vortex, and I think it's fine for me to have this as well. Yeah. I mean, like, theoretically I can. But what I'm talking about here is more because I need to make a choice ultimately for the long run build, right? I mean, I need to decide whether I should actually have taken Obsidian Shards over Winter's Edge, because I can still make this, I mean, I can still change this. So it's less about right now, because the Mindthief is going to be gone after this scenario. Wind is just really the worst element for this class. Earth is actually better. So I did count it wrong. So it's actually, yeah, so that it is actually correctly paired then, right? Because ice is the best element, wind is the worst. Fire is the second best, and earth is the second worst. Having earth around also can theoretically make the top of burial better, although, again, we're not really ever using that for a loss. Hmm. It is hard to consider. Well, I guess let's take a look at our modifiers real quick. All right, so like I said, we have 6. Well, no matter what, we unfortunately always have to remove the bad stuff from our deck. So we need to always do these first, just to get rid of the -1s. Yeah, I would also say keep Winter's Edge. It's just not the choice I really want to make, but I think it is. So this pairs fire and earth, and this is ice and wind. All right. So we do this. We have 2 perks left. So I guess it's like this is probably the best in the long run. All right, so we want to remove all our -1s as quickly as possible. This obviously just makes our deck better overall. I mean, removing them like this actually increases our chances of drawing our relevant elemental modifiers. And then this, I mean, this actually doesn't increase that, but it also just makes our deck, I mean, more consistent because now we have no -1s, we just have a single -2, which we can't do anything about, and makes our damage higher. So this is still worth taking. I would say these 3 always. So then from there, obviously the replacing zeros are better than the just adding zeros because again we still reduce the odds of drawing things which aren't relevant to us. So we definitely want to do this because if we're going to keep Winter's Edge, which I think is correct, we definitely want the ice and the wind. I think this is worth doing as well, even though in general we don't want the earth so much. I think we are going to abandon the earth entirely. It can occasionally come up for this, but otherwise, even if we don't have Shaping the Ether up, it's just always useful to get a random element because of Formless Power. So this is still fine. And yeah, yeah, so it's still fine to have this because again, it's just also replacing zeros and we still get fire, which we want. And then the last one to do is simply ice. It is fair that right now with our current party, if for example we were going to keep the current party that we have for a while, I would probably not do the ice one first. I would maybe do the fire one first, or I might even replace zeros with +2s or add an add target. But the Mindthief is only going to be with us for one scenario, and then after that, ice is by far the most important element for us to get. That being said, um, Crystallizing Blast makes ice modifiers a little bit worse because usually you hit with Crystallizing Blast to try to draw modifiers. But again, I don't think this is a very realistic strategy at higher levels unless you have the curse modifier, I mean enhancement there. I think just spending a turn doing this is so bad, and you'd rather basically never have to actually do that. So I'm planning on, again, this is why I put Crystallizing Blast down here. I'm more just going to be using this as a move 4 from now on. In that case, was the boiling thing even better? Did it have a bottom that's better? Not really. I mean, I guess technically better initiative, but no, Crystallizing Blast, we can also enhance at some point. And then we'll consider using it again. But yeah, so ice is better. All right, so in that case, yeah, we're gonna still create or care about wind a little bit and definitely fire, I guess. So, yeah, it's probably better to just take this one, I think. All right, that works. So do we want wind creation then as a bottom? Because theoretically, if we do bring lava eruption, then we can get a guaranteed Winter's Edge. I guess it depends on the enemies we're going to face, right? Ooh, so for this scenario we will, but I'll go back into that in a second. All right, let's we'll do our shopping and then we'll do our actual setup for this scenario. All right, so let's change our modifier deck real quick. So we get to remove 4 zeros and 5 -1s from the deck. What a shame it is that for now attacking actually matters, but eventually attacking won't matter for us at all. Okay, so we get the ice modifiers, all of them. We get a single +1. Where is it? There we go. And we get one of each other element. All right. Happy New Year, Korean friend. And thank you. Okay. So that's our modifier deck. That's done. Let's put the bad stuff on top here so that we remember this is the bad deck. Now we still need a name for Elementalists, but that's not a hurry. So we need to do our shopping. All right. So first things first, we're always buying a minor mana potion. Oh yeah, we need to do that over here. We actually didn't do the gold thing correctly. We just swapped the two out, but that's not correct. We have what for reputation? 13. So this means that, why am I flipping this over? What am I doing? Sorry, being semi-sick is a little distracting. All right, so it costs 7. So we sold our thing for 5, and this one costs 7, so it cost us 2 gold to change our items over there. All right, so minor potion here costs 7. So what are the important items for this class? Well, I know some of what we need. All right, so we are going to, well, you're going to have to give me a second. I'm just going to change the screen so that I can look at some random item designs. All right. So I'm giving a fair warning now. We're going to be spoiling random item designs 84 and 86. Again, we will be flipping over random item designs 84 and 86, which these are all the item designs we've unlocked. We're going to actually be using these two now. So we're going to flip these over. And these are both quite nice for us because actually they create the two elements that are difficult. And that's actually perfect because the wind generation is just enough to be able to allow us to use Winter's Edge, and the earth generation will be just enough to allow us to get off some valuable shaping ethers when necessary. And there really aren't weapons that this class cares about other than having the wands, so being able to have 2 wands, like to dual wield wands like this, is perfect. Okay, so each of these will cost 27 gold, so this is going to be a total of 54 gold. All right, so we've got a bit of gold left. What else do we want? Boots of Striding are quite nice in this class. Are both the Boots of Striding still in use? No, they're not, because the Tinker was using one of them. I think we should definitely buy one of those. I think that's a pretty obvious choice, because we have a lot of move 2s. So here, I mean, we've got move 2 here that creates an element. Theoretically, move 2 here that creates an element, although we rarely use that. Move 2 here that creates an element, and then maybe even if we bring the wind one, move 2 there, which creates an element. So being able to use Boots of Striding is quite nice. We will definitely, since we were able to get 2 wands, look to get an earring at some point. But anyway, so here's another 17 gold down the drain. Down the drain. So we have 12 gold left, which is just going to be enough to buy one more small item. And I suppose that should be probably a ham. I think a ham is better than a power potion. I'm not sure how good ham will actually be on this class, but I think it's worth grabbing one and finding out. All right, so that costs us another 7, so we're down to 5 gold. And I think that's a pretty good start as far as items go for this class. Okay, so yeah, I think we've done everything we need to do. So I'm going to put our 10 cards that we would normally bring up here, but like I said, we're going to change this slightly for this scenario, as we know that we will be facing Flame Demons. Since we'll be facing Flame Demons, Winter's Edge is obviously incredible. Since Winter's Edge is incredible, you really want to make sure that we can create wind. That being said, we have the Wind Wand, so maybe it's okay to not bring the Wind Movement card now, and I think that's probably correct. Wind can be good in the first room as well, but we can always try to long rest before the second or third room where we face the Flame Demons. So yeah, I think it's fine to go like this. Again, we're not missing anything that we really wanted. No, not so much. guess the other movement may be better. We don't actually need that much movement, so maybe it is better here to just take this. I mean, this is a pretty small scenario, so it's possible we should just take one of these rather than worrying about having such a large move. We'll need to run from one side to the other. It can be valuable to have this at that time. Yeah, I think we'll stay like this. Okay, this looks good. So, oh, we need to, so there's a couple more things we have to do. I'm just gonna switch this like this for a second, because I need to go and grab the Elementalists city and road events. It's on which side? I always forget. The left or the right? I think it's the, yeah, the left. All right, so that is number, yep. I'm just, again, avoiding spoilers. Then we'll have to do a city event. We also have to get our personal goal, our personal quest. All right, just quickly grabbing these out. And shuffling them in. Okay. All right, time to grab a personal quest for our Elementalist. All right. That's interesting, right? Excuse me. So, neither of these are very great. The one on the left is one of the more difficult personal quests. They're just killing a bunch of enemies that don't show up very often. At the same time, we know we're going to go to kill some drakes soon. All the drakes are usually the easiest part. Yeah, it depends. Excuse me. This would be easier to control, I guess I should say, because we have at least revealed all these enemies somewhere. But it also unlocks a class. Actually, no, we don't have Cthulhu unlocked. All right, well, yeah, then we'll be taking that one. The problem is killing 20 elite monsters. That's not really where we want to be. Funnily enough, I mean, we're not level 7 yet, but once we get level 7, killing normal enemies is really going to be our specialty. So killing elites is not necessarily the direction we want to go. So yeah, we will take the perfect poison to unlock Cthulhu. Okay. And then we just need to do our city and road events now. Oh, wait. No, we're not supposed to do one now because we're about to do a casual mode scenario. Hold on. I always forget. ECO, is it we don't do the city event before the casual mode scenario, or we don't do it afterwards? I think it's afterwards, right? We do one now because we just did a real scenario, so now we can go back and do a city event. We just can't do a city event. Or is it, do I have it the other way? I always forget this, whether it's before or after that we can't do one. Do you remember? I'll put this back on top for now and wait for confirmation from someone from chat so that I don't get this wrong. I guess it doesn't really change much whether I do it before or after. It's kind of going to be the same thing. Yeah, I can do a city event now. Okay. That's what I thought. So I just can't do it after I do the casual mode scenario. All right, great. Do I get to do a road event now too then? Even going to a casual mode scenario? I guess I don't do the road event now then, right? Yeah. So then I would do the road event. Yeah, exactly. Okay. No, actually, I think I can do this. What? No way! Huh. That sucks. I actually thought that, well, I mean, it shows that I don't necessarily know everything about these. I thought that I would be the person who was good at this. That I would have that person, but I guess not. All right. Well, we lost 10 collective gold. So who cares the least about, well, yeah, like I said, I'm probably never playing the Scoundrel again. There you go. All right. So we don't get to do a road event. We just did the city event. All right. So we just need our battle goals now. Loot a treasure tile. Well, that's impossible. Gain 13 more experience. I don't think that's super easy either. I don't believe this class gains experience very well, unfortunately. But there are no treasures to loot, so it matters nothing. Kill 3 or fewer monsters, or be at 2 or less HP at the end. Guess we can try to kill 3 or fewer monsters. I'm not sure how likely. Oh no, because we have to specifically kill. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter really. We're retiring after this, almost assuredly. So yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll try to reveal a room. Again, we should be retiring after this, so it doesn't really matter. Who cares the least alcohol? Sorry, I need to read this every time for the VODs. Sorry, Isia said, Scoundrel is not the answer I expected to hear when the question was, who cares the least about gold? Which is a fair point. Again, my clarification for this is, of course, that I care least about losing gold on the person. I care least about having enhancements going forward because both of them are about to retire. And I'm less likely to play the Scoundrel again than I am to play the Mindthief again. Because I don't think the Scoundrel holds up very well to multiple plays. Alright, we did not get to ignore negative scenario events. We're actually going to start the scenario disarm. Do with all that gold. At this point, well, the Scoundrel works towards getting Curse on Long Con, right? That's always the dream. Alright, let's put our fleet bolt. It's the lifeboat fuel, yeah. So where do we want to start? So this one really wants to go into the traps. And this one we can execute with Visage. We need to set their hells, actually. So, oops. All right, so let's see. Where are we at here? Let's grab a calculator to do this. So we've got 9 plus 9 plus 5 equals, divided by 3 equals, divided by 2 equals. So this would be 4. Let's make it interesting, right? Or we'll go up to +3 difficulty. To be honest, we've got 2 level 9 characters, one with long con. If we didn't do +3 difficulty, I would feel pretty bad. So yeah, so our scenario level is 4 normally with this party, but yeah, +3 we go up to 7. +3 again. Ooh. All right, let's get into it. So the scenario effect is that everyone begins disarmed, but these two ignore negative scenario effects. He does not. So for the Elementalist on the first turn, do we have anything to do that's not attacking on top? We do not. Should we have something to do which is not attacking on top? For our first turn, then. We don't really have much we can do that's not attacking. It's not like we want to have to bring Brilliant Flash. Encompassing Shadows doesn't really do much. Yeah, this class doesn't really not attack well. So maybe better to just... I mean, we could bring a suboptimal card, like the heal, just so that we could do something the first turn. But then we would be hindering ourselves going forward, or we can just kind of give up a turn, and I think that'll be better. All right, so what are our plans for both of them? Well, like I said, the Scoundrel can... Oh yeah, we need to set up their lives. That's what made us think of. Right, so 21. So interestingly enough, these traps do 9 each, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so it'll be 18, so this would have 3 life left. So we just need to hit that for a little bit. That's not too hard. And this one up here can be executed. We won't easily push anything into the trap, but that's okay. We'll also be using a lot of stuff right away, but the first room is the most difficult part here. We're killing the Night Demons, though, not the Cultists. Is that a mistake? No. The Night Demons hit for a boatload of damage. Once the Night Demons are dealt with, it's easier to deal with the Cultists. Kind of have to just hope to fade a summon for one turn. I think it's more realistic. We don't have any of these things in our decks? No. Okay. So, yeah. So we'll use this. We'll use a summon. So we're going to use Visage to execute the regular. Oh, we do have Long Con. Long Con is interesting. Go here and Long Con all these. It just doesn't matter, though. I mean, if we don't Long Con, we get to execute this. But I guess then we could save the execute for one of them. Because they're not really going to clump up then, huh? Disarming this, I guess it can do something. It's just disarming the cultist doesn't really matter, because it's not their attacks that are an issue. But we do have the Long Con, right? We should use. Yeah, right. This is probably better to do. So we can do a move to... we'd have to use our boots then. But that's fine. Move to poisoning all of them with Visage. Oh, no, we don't want to waste Visage just for well, extra poison. So we'll do the move 4 jump, then we don't have to use our boots, getting advantage. and disarming all of these. And we'll use our compass to throw this through 2 of those. So then the Mindthief needs to go finish him off. Creating ice is not bad, because then we have it and doing this. Yeah. These 2 things work well, because we want to get the Mind's Weakness set up. I mean, we could actually use Phantasmal Killer because of how easy it is for... Ooh. Alright. Do we even need to bring the Mind's Weakness then? Yeah, probably. At some point, the Elementalists will play for himself, but yeah, actually because of how easy it is for the Elementalist to create Dark, we can actually use Phantasmal Killer here. The Elementalist has actually 3 non-lost cards which create Dark. So we've got Encompassing Shadows, Burial, and Primal Duality. Even though, obviously, by just funneling these elements to the Mindthief, the Elementals will do less. Allowing the Mindthief to execute a regular enemy every round is certainly worth it. I do want to keep the Mind's Weakness still, just to have the option to switch to it at some point. I guess theoretically we can also use the bottom of Mind's Weakness once we have this augment up to kill. So what we want to do, but then we're not killing this turn. So we're getting hit by it? But we get to execute a cultist, which just seems right? What if instead we do go attack? No. Oh, that's an interesting point. I could bring that to create an element every round. No, I was more just thinking that I would bring these 3 because I consider that card to be garbage. But it's true that with the Mindthief, it's actually not garbage, right? Because we can just execute every round with that, but have one less attack. It's just a shame because it's gonna make the Elementalist even worse. But I mean, I guess that's probably technically correct. Oh wait, we actually already have that, right? So we would just have to use it. It's shaping out there. Oh man, feels so bad. This would allow us to create Dark every turn, so we could literally execute a regular enemy every turn of the scenario. I mean, if that's not correct, I don't know what is. Ugh. Oh man. All right, well, we don't need to use that right away because we can still use Encompassing Shadow. I mean, we'll see. We have the option to use it or not. We're definitely going to use Encompassing Shadow no matter what to create Dark to begin with. So to begin with, we want the Mindthief actually to kill the Night Demon. Yeah, talk about trivializing a scenario indeed, but it is a retirement scenario. And to be honest, whether we're trivializing it with that or with Long Con, it doesn't really matter so much. Moral of the story, non-loss executes, not a good design plan. Design idea. I don't even know. Man, I'm on my game today. All right, so we're gonna go. We're using Frigid because it's an attack 4. We'll need to deal 3 damage. This means even if we get a -1, we kill him because we are gonna be disadvantaged. Can use it to farm XP on triangles when you don't need the knight to. Yeah. So where do we want to start? I guess what we'll use as a bottom, we need to go fast. I guess going fastest is probably best. If we go at 5, we lose out on an attack. I guess losing out on an attack doesn't matter since we're literally just going to execute everything in the room. Yeah. All right, let's just go fast then. Well, so the only way this scenario is going to be remotely challenging is if the cultist summon on the first turn. Okay, so we'll have created Dark there. So in the end, if we're going to do this, we're not going to use the bottom of this because we're not going to play both these bottom losses. Does it count if you use the axe on the attack that becomes an execute? I don't believe that allows you. Oh, interesting. That axe. Yeah, I was thinking of the other one. That is a very interesting rules question, Isio. Let's see. This is tough. So we know that an execute does not traditionally count as an attack, and the axe does specify during your melee attack. That being said, this does say on your melee attacks, but it says kill one normal target instead. My inclination would be to believe that we could not use the axe for this, but It is an interesting question regardless. I mean, we'll just have to axe something one time. It's not that big of a deal. All right, so I kind of wanted to set up a bottom here. So I just set up this right away. But I don't actually need to. But what else am I doing with the bottom here? This bottom is so bad, and it doesn't even give experience when you play it? Is this a joke? Alright, you could just set up this right away. And these two kind of balance each other out a little bit. If we do that, how many turns will we have left? We play no more losses all scenario. Let's see. So we play these two losses, and we go down to 7 cards. So we have 5, and then 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 turns. If you have an item that prevents the use of another, like item A. Oh. Yeah, I think it's not worth it to play both losses. I think that's too bad. I guess the question is whether we even need to play this loss. The question is, do we even need to play this loss? I'm not even sure we do. So let's actually just try to play this. Let's try to have some fun with the Elementalists, right? I mean, we can still create Dark for 3 turns without having to use that. I'm not sure we actually have to use it. Let's try this one. In worst case scenario, we'll set it up later if we need to. I guess creating Dark is also risky because of the Night Demons, so it's also important that we kill them. All right. Anyway, let's go. I forgot to eliminate you. All right, let's go. Well, not summoning, so not even moving. Oh, come on. All right, so the Scoundrel goes first. We're going to begin by using the Doomed Compass, and we're going to force this to move like that. Through both of the traps, each trap does 9 damage, which is a total of 18, putting this Elite Night Demon down to 3. Then we're going to use the bottom of Flurry of Blades to move 4 jump, gain advantage in all your attacks this round. 1, 2, 3 to here. And then we're going to use the top of Long Con, attack 4, target all adjacent enemies, disarm. Yeah, totally reasonable. All right, we'll do 1, then 4 of the Cultist, and then we'll do 4 of the Night Demon. So the first 2 are advantage, and then the Night Demon is regular. All right, so 5, 6, 5. Why does this ability exist, you might ask? Good question, I would respond. Is it reasonable for there to be a non-loss ability which can do this kind of damage turn after turn while also CCing a large group of enemies? Good question. No, I don't think it is reasonable. Yeah, I think Long Con's broken. All right, moving along, we have the Mindthief's turn. So the Mindthief is going to perform move 5 on the bottom of Cranium Overload. Guess us getting attacked doesn't really matter. We're just executing things afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there, I suppose. Oh, we forgot to set up the Elementalist. Oh, poor guy. Doesn't really matter where he's starting. Sure, here. So then the Mindthief could have started here or something. Just forgot to place him. All right, so we move there with the bottom of Cranium Overload, and then we use the top of Frigid Apparition as an attack 4, and we will target this Night Demon here. We have nothing special to use here. No. All right. Disadvantaged. Okay. And so we killed him. What was our goal again? Kill 3 or fewer. Oof. Yeah, probably not getting that, but doesn't matter so much. Okay. And then we're done. So these cultists are disarmed, so they're going to do nothing. So there's just the cultist adjacent to the Mindthief. It's going to make an attack -1. It's a regular cultist, so it attacks for 2 curse on the Mindthief. Okay, Mindthief takes 2 damage. Do I have everyone's health set correctly? Yes. Yes. And you I have not set up correctly. Poor neglected Elementalist. So 2 damage to the Mindthief and a curse. Let's put these correctly now. Yes, we do have them correctly, actually. Nice. I don't know, maybe they're mixed up, but who knows. Alright, so a curse goes to the Mindthief, and that's it. Cultists are done. So then it is the Elementalist's turn. So as the Elementalist, we're going to gain 2 experience. We're going to activate the bottom of Formless Power. Once during each of your attack actions, you may consume any element at +1 attack to the entire attack action. So activate that, and then we're going to use the top of Encompassing Shadows to invisible, affect 1 ally within range 3. So we will make the Scoundrel invisible, because why not? And more significantly, we create dark. And then we're done. And then the Night Demon goes and does nothing because also disarmed. And we end the round. Okay, so it's time to execute this cultist. I haven't set its health yet, but I suppose that doesn't really matter because nonetheless executes. All right. Now the problem is we can't go actually fast enough. The Night Demon can actually consume that knight from us. Unless we kill it before it can go. Seems like a good plan. Let's do it. This will require using a summon, but that's fine. This way we can't have any risks in this room. Fair enough, Antares. My first enhancement on this class would usually be Curse on Crystallizing Blast, but I mean yours is definitely better, although significantly more expensive. Okay, and so then we're going to execute the cultist down here. Guess no matter what, we're executing something up there. We'll see what exactly it is. Depends. So we'll execute the cultist down here, and I guess can hit something else. Oh no, we can just stun one of them. Yeah. This way, even if they summon, we can prevent one of these two from going. If they're going to summon, then well, all right, if he's going to steal the knight, then we'll execute him, we'll stun one of these. So worst case scenario, sorry, how to revise this. Worst case scenario is that they're going to steal knight and summon. In that case, executed, stun one of these two, one summons. If this one doesn't steal a knight, we can execute, stun if they summon. And if they don't summon and they steal knight, then we can execute, stun. I started at like 6 or 7 prosperity, and apparently I'm too cheap to spend elements to move, so crystallizing got played from move 4. Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I plan on using crystallizing primarily as a bottom here as well. I don't think at higher levels it's very good. Again, short of having the enhancement. If you have the curse enhancement, obviously it changes things immensely. All right, so what is the Elementalist doing? It really feels like, I mean, yeah, honestly, the Mindthief and Scoundrel probably could just 2-player this. Although I guess the Dark, which is we're getting for the Mindthief, is from the Elementalist. So maybe not. But it just doesn't seem like anything I do matters. Woof. So Mindthief is creating ice, so we can actually even stun the one remaining cultist, so they literally none of them can do anything. Okay. That seems reasonable. We also want to create dark. Creating light doesn't really change anything, but allows us to go early with our stun. Our stun is not so early. We don't have any other elements to use this in a meaningful way, so yeah, we'll just go this, create that element, and we can use this stun attack, I think. Okay, let's do it. No, they were creating an element at 4, but I'll still execute him. So surely enough, we will use... the Falcon's probably more valuable going forward. But the Falcon can actually move into the next rooms, because it might just not die here. So we will summon the Falcon as the Scoundrel. Putting it here. And then we will use the top of Visage, kill one adjacent normal enemy that is adjacent to none of its allies and also adjacent to any of your allies, which allows us to kill the elite or the regular Night Demon up here. And then we have a bottom on Flanking Strike. I mean, they're all going to be stunned, so yeah, I guess we'll just use a generic move and go pick up this coin. I mean, someone's got to... it'd be nice to let the Elementals get coins. Unfortunately, that coin is not where the Elementals can get it, huh? Alright, so be it. We could use the boots to get it this turn, but that's going a little bit far. Plus, I mean, we are still playing a Scoundrel here, let's be real. So we'll pick that up using just a generic move on the bottom of Flanking Strike, which allows us to use a Slice of Ham to get Flanking Strike back. Alright. So then the Night Demon goes, except is eliminated. So then we have the Mindthief. So the Mindthief is going to activate Phantasmal Killer, and we're going to consume the dark and kill one normal enemy, killing this cultist here. And then we're going to use the bottom of Perverse Edge to do attack 1 range 3 stun, targeting cultist number 4. Okay, 3 damage. Down to 6. And stunned. And we created ice. And so then it is the Elementalist's turn. So the Elementalist is going to go, and first we're going to use the top of Stoking Hail. We're going to consume the ice, gain 1 experience, gives an attack 2, range 3 stun, targeting cultist number 1. Alright, so we create an earth, and we get 2 damage and stun here. And so no ECO, I do not think it is possible to be stun saturated. We're basically just, I mean, admittedly, at least today we're playing on +3, not +2 like we did in the custom class testing yesterday, but we're really just picking up right where we left off of just, I mean, AoE disarms, multi-stuns, never letting enemies go. This is the problem with increasing the difficulty. You still have to deal with this somehow. Executes. Just got all the lame stuff, right? So we've got the bottom primal duality, which is going to create light and dark, and allow us to do a move 2. Guess we're going down this way first, probably. Ooh, or we can push one of these into one of the traps, because it's actually good if we can clear one of those traps. Yeah, that's true. The only stat that matters is HP for elite enemies. Yeah, that's pretty true. And shield, I mean, stuff like that as well, but yeah. Okay, and then these cultists go. Except they're just stunned. I mean, yeah. But this also just goes to show that it's not even... I mean, I guess it's kind of all relative, right? But so here we're playing on... I mean, before what we were talking about yesterday is how we were playing on only +2 difficulty with level 9 characters, and this was what was making it kind of easier for us. But here we're playing on +3 difficulty with level 9 characters. I mean, in a different way of speaking, the level 9 characters are still only relative 2, but obviously then it's 3-player party and so like this. But it's still just... I mean, that room that we just did is the hard room in this scenario. Now, that's not to say the scenario is over, because there's still flame demons and stuff like that, but yeah. There's definitely some ways to trivialize scenarios. Okay, so what's next? Like I said, the push is good. We don't actually have the wind though, huh? Do we want to create the wind with our wand? Wind with our wand, huh? This would just allow us to remove one of the traps. Do we have jump? We don't personally have jump. So it wouldn't be the worst thing ever if we could use one of those traps by pushing something into it. Yeah, I think I'm not against that. Just cost me a wand usage at the end of my turn, so yeah, sure. I will have created wind as well by using my wand. So now we just need to go early. Unfortunately, they can still do their death explode. I can't beat that, but I do want to be the one to kill it, again, by pushing it into a trap, just so that I make sure I clear a path to the top. And then I'm going to move to this coin down here, because we're going to go, I guess, down first. All right, so which element do we want to create while moving here? Well, I guess we want this because we need it for initiative, and it'll create ice, which is fine. And then we'll use this, oops, to kill the cultist here. So then there's just this cultist remaining, which actually the Scoundrel can honestly just take care of herself. We don't even need an execute. So since we don't need an execute, what is the Mindthief doing? Is it time to set up the Mind's weakness? No, I don't think so. Should we go open the door below us and then come back? We don't have Boots of Striding, so I think that's a bit dangerous. What if we just pick up this coin? I don't care about the coin that much. If anything, it's really just the Elementalist who cares about coins here. So the Scoundrel's going to be pretty far from us. What if we just move towards the door or heal ourselves and get strengthen? So we're missing 2 health, and the strengthen's kind of fine. And I guess just play like feedback loop as a throwaway. That seems fine. Okay. So then the Scoundrel, like I said, is just going to take care of that cultist. The cultist has 6 health remaining, but we got our summon attacking, plus our own personal attack. We do have Dark. The Dark is not needed by the Mindthief here, so we can actually do this to get a more likely kill. But actually, oh no, we don't even need to push him up. We've got to spring the trap. I'm being silly, so I didn't actually need to use my wand. I forgot we brought that specifically for this. So spring the trap actually solves that problem. We want to go before 10 though. So guess that means this. I mean, we can still do both of them this way. Yeah, all right. This way we just clear both the traps and kill both the things pretty easily. And this way the Scoundrel can actually move down here as well this turn. So that's actually a good idea. All right, let's do it. Okay. So Scoundrel's first, but actually the Scoundrel Summon goes first. Just going to attack the cultist it's adjacent to. Invisible Summon. All right, so the cultist goes down to 4. That's actually kind of bad, because we didn't want to do too much damage there. And the summon has gone invisible. That's awesome. That is cool. It's actually the first time I've ever had that happen, despite having obviously used summon items in the Scoundrel before. All right, the Scoundrel is going to use Spring the Trap. I'm going to grab this trap and chuck it at this dude. So the trap does 9 damage, which just kills this guy. All right, and then we have a move 5 jump on the bottom flanking strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will leave that coin. Because again, it is more important, obviously, for the Elementals to get gold than someone who's about to retire and probably never get played again. All right, Mindthief's up next. Well, so the Mindthief's not really getting a lot done here. I'm just going to move to here with the bottom of Empathetic Assault and heal 2 and get strengthened. Okay, and then it's the Elementalist's turn. So we're going to gain 1 experience for using Shaping the Aether as an attack 1 range 3. We're not going to use, so we obviously could use this here, but it doesn't give us experience. It would just increase the attack. We actually don't want to kill this thing with the attack because it'll die in the trap no matter what. So we're actually just of all the elements going to consume air, and we're going to do it. So an attack 1, range 3, push 3, targeting this cultist here, targeting cultist number 1. So as an attack 1, all right, so we create a new ice, and we get a push 3, so 1 damage to him, which puts him down to 3, and then once he goes 1, 2, 3 into the trap, he dies. What's our battle goal again? Oh, experience. Okay. Great. So then the cultists are eliminated. Oh, and then we have, oh, ice actually didn't matter. So then I have move 2, creating an ice, going there, grabbing this coin. And that's the end of the round. All right, time to run into this new room here. New and exciting room. We actually need to create dark before the Mindthief goes, but that's not easy. But it is doable, I suppose. So why don't we just cheese the room again? Because not consider stuff like this. Wait, what are you talking about for ham? Oh, like where I could have moved there and used ham instead? Stuff like that? What are you talking about exactly? For ham being basically useless. Oh, yeah. So I mean, we could still do it on top sometimes. Yeah, without a doubt. I'm not sure how useful ham will be. Yeah, I consider this as well. Because you always want to be creating elements with move 2s, it's difficult to do a generic move 2, for sure. I think ham might not be very useful, but again, it's pretty cheap, and I want to try it anyway. It also just gives me more information, seeing how decent it can be. All right, so what are we doing here? Well, we're going to actually just try to use these 2 cards. We need to create dark for the Mindthief no matter what. So the Mindthief wants to go late. Run into the room with something that gives plenty of movement and creates dark for the following turn. Yes. This lurks. Oh, we're going to cheese this room up real nice. We're going to see how little damage we can take this entire scenario. Seems like a good plan. Why do we even strengthen ourselves? Who knows? All right, let's go. So, Scoundrel first. We're going to do move 2 invis. A 1 onto the door. We'll see what's in this room. So we've got rubble, rubble, rubble. Being new to Gloomhaven, I just did a search for different classes. Your Reddit guide was the first result. You own a monopoly. There are a lot of, I mean, there are some good guides in Board Game Geek. I definitely wouldn't say I have a monopoly. That are just designed a little bit different than mine. Mine were in the beginning, so they were designed around kind of being more necessity, whereas now people will have more opportunities to do things like alternate builds and stuff like that. But thank you, I guess. I mean, I'd like to think that my guides are pretty good. If you follow them, well, if you follow my guides and if you're struggling and you follow my guides, it'll definitely help you. But it's not to say that my guides are the only way you can play the game. There are plenty of ways you can play the game. Although I generally think that you'll probably, I mean, my guides are designed around, I guess, two things now. Originally, they were just designed around helping people who are struggling. Now they're also kind of designed around playing optimally. But again, playing optimally is not the only way to play. As it is a game and having fun is the top priority. I mean, a good example would be that Spellweaver guide that I just posted today. As someone said in the comments, and I completely agree with that guide, I mean, that way of playing the Spellweaver, for some people, can certainly be less fun. Like, you spend most of your time just doing the same thing over and over and over again, which is a very powerful thing, and which is, to me, that's fun, doing something powerful, because for me, the fun in games like this is the challenge. I prefer to have things be as difficult as possible and then have to overcome them. But to some people who play for different reasons, then doing something like that could be really unfun. For this reason, it's good that there are other guides out there, even if maybe they're a little more difficult to find. But again, on Board Game Geek, I think you'll have, if you just search on there as well, you should be able to find them pretty easily. All right, let's set these helves. So we still got one movement left on our invis move. And these skeletons, I set their helves already, yes. All right, let's see what all these fellows are up to. Consuming elements. That I don't like. That I don't like. That is... But as we've established, UCO, if they don't move, they don't do this, right? Oh no. Oh, we don't get to execute anything this turn. Oh, disaster. So we actually do want them to move. All right. So much for blocking the door and cheesing and stuff. So where is the best way to do this? We have one move left. I suspect that going here is going to be the best solution. So basically, we need them to move up so that the Mindthief with a move 4 you can get adjacent to one. Oh no, but the element will be used before. Oh, but then we recreate it. No, so that's fine actually. The element consumption doesn't matter at all. What is a little bit controversial? Cheesing with invis on the doorway? Oh, whether they don't do this or not. So you're not actually sure which way it is? Ah, okay. Because obviously, yes, I would agree. If they were all stunned, then they would never do this. But again, it's not actually going to matter. Well, actually, they're gonna consume our fire, but this doesn't matter at all. But yeah, so you're actually not sure which way? So to clarify for anyone who's watching and doesn't know what we're talking about, the question here, and this isn't actually going to matter here, but it is an interesting discussion regardless, is whether, so for example, if we did block the door with invis and they were incapable of moving, so I mean they couldn't find focus, so they wouldn't move, not that they're incapable of moving, I guess. Because they wouldn't actually perform any actions here, would they actually perform the element consumption action or portion of their card? Which is something I've kind of found strange. I'm not sure, basically, what I mean. All right, so let's see if we go there. How's their movements? They have -1 movement, so 3 on the elite. So we can just go to here. And then 1 and 1, 2. So otherwise, if we go here, yeah, then the elite gets in here and starts hitting. So we don't want that. So it doesn't make sense to go here. All right, yeah, we'll go there. And so then we're going to use the top of Burning Oil. We're going to make an attack 4, range 3 wound. We're going to target the elite. Again, because the regulars are so easy to execute, it's better to damage the elite when possible. So here we go. Attack 4, wound, targeting the elite Frost Demon. You're at +2. So 6. Puts him down to 19. And wounds him. Okay, so then Living Bones go. So they have 4 movement on... Oh, 6 move. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe I wasn't paying... I didn't think they would actually have this much movement. I forgot that an elite Living Bones has 6 movement. All right. Well, that's quite potent. So he's going to do some stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. All right. All right. Making this into a scenario after all. And so first is going to be on the Elementalist and then the Mindthief. -1. So normally 4. So 3. Sure. And then on the Mindthief. +1. So 4 as well. Okay. So then we have this living bones with 1, 2, 3, 4 movement can just go to there. Okay. So then the frost demons go. So the elite takes 1 damage from its wound, goes down to 18, has 3 movement. So its path right now would be either like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So like this, and then can't move anymore. And so then this one has 2 movement. So if it goes here, it's 1, 2. Whereas from here, it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I guess it would go here, right? And then this one would just go here. It's not going to change much. It's just going to change whether it's 2 or 4 in the front. But I believe it is correct that 2 moves 1 more. Because the number of so it's 1, 2, 3 hexes, for example, from here, whereas it's 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes from here, but in terms of actual movement, here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh no, it's the same. Yeah, but it's 1. Yeah, so it actually would not move. So it would actually be 4 then, which ends up on the other side. Oops, there we go. Okay. So then it is the Elementalist turn. So we're going to begin by using Crystallizing Blast. So we have attack 1, range 3, creating ice. Oh, so actually, sorry. We created fire with the Scoundrel, and then the fire would have been consumed by the frost demons, and new ice would be created, which matters very little because then we're also creating more ice. So we create ice with Crystallizing Blast. So we have range 1, 2, and then we expand like this, so we hit everything in here. And so we're actually going to consume this ice with the bottom of Formless Power, and this is where Formless Power gets really nice, because now we're actually going to get an attack 2 on Crystallizing Blast, hitting all these enemies. Now on the admittedly, hitting the Living Bones isn't going to do too much, so we'll do, I guess, Frost Demon 2, 4, 6, and then Bones 9. So all of these are attack 2s. And so we create ice to begin with, no matter what. So 2, 4, 6 and Frost Demons, and then the Bones. So 2. All right, so 2 damage in wind, 2 damage in fire, 2 damage. Okay, and 4, which is really going to be 3 damage. So 3 damage here, and then 2, 2, 2. And we created a wind and a fire. Not bad. Okay, and so then it's the Mindthief's turn. So the Mindthief has a move 4 jump, which creates dark. Oh, sorry, no, we're not done yet. We have burial, yeah. So we have an attack 3, range 4, which creates dark. So we're going to create dark, and we're going to attack, again, the elite, because the elite is the only one that we can't actually execute, so it's the most important to deal damage to. It's also the most difficult for our 2 allies, who are mostly melee, to damage the elite, since it has the highest retaliate. High health and high retaliate, I should say. Its retaliate is really only 1 higher. So we use burial as an attack 3, targeting the elite, which creates dark. We didn't have any elements remaining this turn from before, so we can't consume any elements with Formless Power. So just an attack 3, and just an attack 3. All right. So this goes down to 13, and we created dark. So now it is the Mindthief's turn. So the Mindthief is going to use the bottom of Corrupting Embrace, do a move 4 jump, poison everything move through. What's more threatening? I guess Living Bones is kind of harder to kill because of the shield. But at the same time, Ankh can hit multiple targets, but these things, they retaliate. I mean, all right, regardless, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, which puts a poison here, puts a poison here. Yeah, and this one's poisoned as well. All right. And then we will use the top of Mind's Weakness just as a generic attack too, except we'll, because we have Phantasmal Killer, consume Dark, but we created Dark anyway with Corrupting Embrace, so there is actually a new one, to kill one adjacent normal enemy, so we will kill this one. That's true, I can axe the bone as well. Although I can axe the elite bone, which is probably more valuable, but yes. For now, I'm going to worry about executing the things that I can, and we'll worry about using the axe soon enough. Worst case scenario, we've always got another room where we can use the axe. All right. So we do have fire. I mean, regardless, I think it's correct just to play these 2 cards. Our initiative kind of sucks here, which is a bit of a problem. We don't have a ton of health, which is also a bit of a problem, but I think we're fine. So here we should just play these 2 cards, and we'll see again how we're going to use them. And here, guess we just play these 2 cards, and we'll see how we're going to use them. I think all our plans are quite reasonable. All right, let's go. By the way, this shouldn't be invisible anymore.
Bones at 20, huh? And healing themselves. A bit annoying. Alright, so the Mindthief is first. So, I think I... What are the Frost Demons doing? Oh, they do have ice. We can consume the ice, though. But we create new ice, but we can consume that one. That's not a problem. Alright. Um... Hmm. So the real question is, do we want to kill... What do we want to execute? We can either execute the regular Frost Demon or the regular Bones here. I mean, we could axe this, but like I said, the axe is going to be really valuable against the elite bones because the elites are actually the only thing which are relatively difficult for us to kill, and the axe will make it very much easier for us to kill that. So I definitely prefer to execute now. I think executing the bones makes more sense simply because it's going to axe sooner. And what the frost demons are doing, well, I mean, So they won't have ice unless we flip ice. God, that is always annoying. We can't actually flip ice. Oh, we have 3 ice modifiers in our deck. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Yeah, that might actually change something, because if they do, this is actually quite potent. Yeah, and I guess the Scoundrel can more easily... Although, actually, Scoundrel won't have anyone adjacent. It's annoying the Scoundrel actually has to go second. Oh, you can forego the created ice from modifiers. I didn't know that. All right, thank you. Well, that's good then. Since you couldn't forego elements on actions, I assumed on modifiers you couldn't as well, but I guess on a modifier it's considered a beneficial effect, which makes sense because that's how ambiguity is determined between it and other things. So yeah. All right. So we'd like to use open wound realistically, and I guess we can open wound this one then if we execute here. All right, yeah, we can forego the ice. All right, yes, this does make sense. All right. So we're going to use the top of Shared Nightmare as a generic attack. We're going to consume the dark and simply execute this bones here. Then we're going to use the bottom of Dark Frenzy to do a move 3, attack 3, all that nonsense. Where do we want to move to? Coin, probably? Yeah. Yep. So we'll move to this coin. That's fine. Then we're going to be the one gets attacked by both the Frost Demons. We got a healing potion. We're fine. I mean, got to pick up coins, right? It's not like we can not pick up coins. Although the Elementals could pick up this coin by coming down, which is maybe better. So if we move away, then it's the Scoundrel who gets hit twice. But the Scoundrel's got that huge healing ring. All right, all right. Let's be smart about this, right? Well, then this will hit 1, 2, 3. Well, then we'll split damage. That's still better. All right, let's move back to here. This is technically the safest thing to do, although, being safe instead of greedy. So we get an attack 3 with Dark Frenzy, and again, we will actually attack. It's interesting. Should we? Yeah, no, we should still hit the Elite Frost Demon as much as we can with ranged attacks. So sure. We'll use the bottom of Dark Frenzy as an attack 3, targeting the Elite Frost Demon. Should we stun powder it? Actually, might not be a bad idea. Well, regardless, we should use our healing potion because we're going to take a hit here this turn. I think for sure, right? Let's see. It's range 2. Yeah, this can always move to there and then hit us. Yeah. So we should definitely heal. We could stun, but it just doesn't matter much. I mean, if it doesn't matter, I can just do it. Oops, we played our cards in the wrong spot again, didn't we? Yep. Trying to make the elementals better by giving Mindthief cards, huh? I mean, it does block 5 damage. Yeah, alright, let's just use the stun. So we'll use the stun powder with our attack 3, targeting the elite. Okay, so our attack 3 does 5, actually. Puts the elite down to 8. And because we use the stun powder, it's stunned. And so then we're done. So then our Scoundrel's up next. So we're going to use Swift Bow as a bottom. Sucks we're not actually going to loot with this. I guess the Elementalists could move 4, but then no, then the Elementals is taking hits that we don't. Yeah, because they're actually going after. So the Elementals is never going down to pick up coins, probably going up. Oh, but first actually is the Summon. Summon actually has 3 movement, right? Nice. So it's just going to die to the Skeleton when the Skeleton attacks. I guess that was a good reason for actually stunning the Skeleton. I forgot about the stun powder. That maybe was better because we would have kept this alive. Oops. Oh well. So Summon goes there, makes an attack on the... I mean, I guess it would survive one more turn and then probably end up attacking. Well, no, they'd probably attack this again. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Oh well. So we attack the bird, makes an attack 2, +1 from the poison, so attack 3, so +1 more, so 4 on the elite bones, which puts the bone down to 12. I'm not sure if you can forego the loot part, but the question is, I mean, we can just move to here. My question is, can we actually... it does not appear to be a main line, because it's loot every hex you enter with this. So I think you cannot forego it. But the real question is whether the scoundrel can actually forego it, you know, and still call herself a scoundrel. That's not so much the issue. It's more, I mean, if we actually want to pick this up, because again, I don't really care about her money, and I care about the elementalists getting money. But again, as I've realized now, I can't actually move there with the elementalists because the frost demons are going to go after. I guess there's only one frost demon going, but yeah, we'll already have been hit by the bones. No. So yeah, the elementals is probably running away. All right, so we'll just do this move with Swiftbow. Picking up this coin, and then we're going to use Open Wound. So Open Wound has +1 attack, so 5, +1 from the poison, so 6, and a wound. What? Well, we're invis again, and all we get is a wound. Rough. Okay. So we're done. So now the Living Bones goes, and it'll attack first the Summon, and then the Elementalist. Yep. Okay, Summon's down. That's a painful attack on the Elementalist, huh? So 5. Alright. It's found the weakness in our party, that's for sure. And it heals off both of these things, which is also kind of annoying. Yeah, I should have stunned this one. This was stupid. This was stupid, but it takes 1 damage. Okay, then it's the Elementalist's turn. So we're going to step away using the bottom of Ice Spikes. So we played a lost card, so if we don't use Ham here, we'll have 8 cards in our hand after a rest. Yeah, so we're just going to step away like this, picking up this coin. And then we're going to use the top of Winter's Edge, consuming ice and air, which gives us 1 experience. This gives us an attack 5, range 4, pierce 4. So we'll be piercing all of its shields. Oh, and we will consume the fire as well, actually to add +1 more. So attack 6, actually. I love Formless Power. This card's great. Even on single target, it feels alright, but on AoEs, it's insane. But yeah, I mean, even here, it's still just good. Alright, so a 6. Okay, so we create an Earth. And again, because we pierce all its shields, we get a straight 6. Hey, Brian. So Brian's question is, Gripe, have you played the 2 figure yet? Yes, I have played too many. If you do want to ask specific questions about it, I suggest the best way to do it, since we're not playing on a stream right now, I prefer not to give any spoilers for it, is to message me on the subreddit. Otherwise, you can send me direct messages as well on Twitch. I'm a little bit worse at actually noticing those, but either way, I'll end up responding. If it's a more vague question, then you're welcome to ask it here, as long as it's spoiler free. But yes, I have played it 2 times to retirement. Okay, so then the elite goes here, loses its stun, and takes 1 damage from its wound, going down to 7. And then the regular goes, and is just going to move to here, because it's 1 less movement point than going to here, and target the Mindthief with an attack 2. Sorry, no, and a range 2 attack 5, that's what I mean. Okay, so 4. And that's the end of the round. I don't think we need to long rest yet, although we also don't need to not long rest. I was going to ask about items. I can PM though. Yeah, a PM is probably best. There's going to be a lot of spoilers as well for items. When you PM me, make sure to specify what prosperity you have, because at least at the very least, I mean, if you have some item questions about specific items, you're welcome to ask. Otherwise, specify the prosperity you're at, because this helps me to be able to respond without necessarily spoiling you, or without having to put as many spoiler tags. All right. Oh, man, we could triple long rest. That's not the way to go here. So we don't have dark, so we can't just execute this thing down here. But I think it's time for us to come and finish this bones anyway. All right, so short rest, maybe a long rest. Long rest just gets us back this. It also heals us for 2. Do we need longevity that much? No, we're 2/3 done with this scenario. Let's just short rest. Get some experience. Come on. Let's get real. All right. Ooh. Oh, we have only 2 life left. All right. No, we'll keep that. Even though that can not create dark, whereas other things can. Yeah, that's much better. Although it's our biggest move as well. But yeah, I mean, let's be real. This attack is going to be very valuable, not just against this skeleton, which sure doesn't really matter, but there's going to be flame demons in this scenario, and that is amazing against flame demons. Highest level flame demons, yeah, the retaliate. All right, well, it's so-so. It's so-so. So short rest here as well. No reason to bring anything back. We don't actually have the element, but I guess the element can be created for us before we go. But again, this turn actually doesn't matter. Do I want to lose that? It's my earliest initiative, but I guess it just doesn't matter so much. It's also a lot of movement, but I've got multiple other move fours. That's okay. And here, yeah, short rest as well. Sure. I mean, there can only be so many cards that you don't want to lose, right? Okay. So, Mindthief needs to go kill that skeleton. We can do that by doing a big attack. This gives us +5 on our attack. Won't be able to get advantage easily here. Unless the Scoundrel moves first. Scoundrel can move first, probably. That's not too much of an issue. But what can the Scoundrel even do here? I could execute this, but it would need to be adjacent to the Mindthief. Or we'd have to use a second summon. I don't think we need to use a second summon here. I think that would be silly. This room's pretty over. Long Con is unfortunately not very good against retaliating enemies. Stick the Shadows just doesn't do it. Open Wound can? It says 7 health left. Yeah. I guess that's probably the best play. If we use Open Wound plus the bottom of Visage, it's fine to use the bottom of Visage here because the Mindthief will be able to execute this next turn. Yeah, so Open Wound plus the bottom Visage. Bottom Visage puts poison, and then Open Wound does an attack 5, +1 for the poison is 6, so you just need to flip a +1 to not take Retaliate. Even if we don't flip a +1, it still dies, but I think we have to flip +1, right? I mean, or miss. We don't actually have any 0. No, we have a single 0 in our deck. So, I mean, we're heavily favored to kill this with our attack. So that seems fine. And this should go before Frost Demons can go. So then we just need the Mindthief to go slightly after us. That's easy. Wait, oh no, it's not easy. Oh, that's so terribly not easy. Mindthief doesn't get advantage for her attack? That seems like a bad plan. But we don't have any other attacks that actually get it done. Now this has got to be right. So the Mindthief just has to not get advantage? I don't like that. That's so risky. It's scary. Very, very scary. But it's probably correct, nonetheless. Do we have a move 3? No, I just have move 2s. Woof. So the Mindthief can attack with anything. We just have to go after a Scoundrel. We actually can't if the Scoundrel goes at 11. I mean, we'd have to go at 29, which is after the Bones can go at 20 and 12. All right, so the Scoundrel's actually got to rethink her plan. That's the answer here. So that means we're good with this. This gives us a high attack plus advantage, and we get a bit of self-healing, which is nice. All right. Maybe the Elementalists can come help hit this, but it actually doesn't really make sense because the Elementalists can't go before the Scoundrel. We don't need to help hitting the Bones. The Bones should die basically no matter what here. Yeah, I know we don't have to Mind's Weakness, but we've got an attack 4 here plus the axe, right? So this gives us an attack 9 on something that has 5 health and 2 shields, so 7 effective health Again, and we'll have advantage. The only way we can miss is literally by flipping a rolling modifier and a miss, in which case it would change nothing. So we're fine here no matter what on that. Problem now is just figuring out what the Scoundrel can actually do. And what the Elementals can do. Not bringing that extra movement was a mistake in the end. I mean, this did help us so much in the first room, though. We didn't have to actually play this bottom. Problem is we're just not needed. All we need to do is move and pick up coins, but unfortunately to move and pick up coins, we need to use boots, basically, or we can just start going up this way. Yeah, alright, let's just do that. So then what are we doing with the top action? I mean, I guess we just create dark. So the Mindthief has the next turn, that makes sense. And so then we just move 2 with anything. So if we move 2 with anything, it really doesn't matter what we use. We can create an element, but the elements don't matter really. I mean, we could do any of these, I guess just not use this one. So we can create fire or ice. So this is the only thing that's going to live, so we don't want to create ice. In creating fire can actually hurt it, so sure, I guess we'll go with this. Does that make sense? All right. So now we just have to decide what the Scoundrel's going to do. This is annoying because we just can't do our attack. I mean, we don't have a way of killing that elite now. Just long con both of them then and take damage. We've got our boots still, so we can even go there. So we take 7 for this, but we've still got our Helix Ring. We can do a ranged attack, but doesn't kill. We don't want to put wound on the irregular because it's just going to get executed the following turn, so damaging the regular really doesn't matter. Doesn't seem like anything we do here really matters. The only way we get a kill is by summoning, or by getting a +2. But we can't even get advantage for ourselves, so we can't easily get a +2 here. I guess this is still just correct to do, and we'll see. We actually don't need to necessarily poison or disarm this one. We'll see. We'll see what they'll do. This gives us options, and it lets us move out of the doorway first, which is the most important thing here. All right. So, yeah, it's probably still correct to disarm him. If he attacks, he hits for 5. If we disarm him, we take 3, so it's just better this way. So we're going to use the bottom of Visage to do a move to Poisony. We're going to use our boots to get a bit of extra movement. We're going to go to here. And we're going to poison both of the adjacent enemies. Again, the poisoning just matters because it gives us a chance of killing the elite without taking Retaliate, which is all we want. He has, yeah, 7 health, so we have to hit a +2. Still, why not? All right, so then we use the long con. We'll attack the elite and then the regular. Ugh, I'm sure. Oh, of course, of course. Oh God, I should have asked for help. I even thought about it, and I was like, no, no, this is so inconsequential. But all right, so we do 6 damage here in the end, putting this down to 1. It's disarm, which means nothing. It's going to die. And this one is disarm, which means something. But it was poisoned first, so yeah, it's down to 2. I don't even need to execute it the following turn, right? And we take 7 retaliate, 4 from the elite and 3 from the regular. I guess we're gonna heal 1 at least. We did put this wound on him and he's gonna die from it. And we do get kill credit for that. Alright, so then it is the Mindthief who's up. So the Mindthief is gonna do move 2, heal 2 self, getting strengthened. Going to here. And then we're going to use the top of Frigid Apparition simply as an attack 4. Plus, we're going to use the axe since we're targeting living bones because it's +5. So we get an attack 9 with advantage targeting the elite living bones. No. Perfect. It doesn't even matter. As soon as I saw the -1, I'm happy. So we get 8. And again, he has 5 health and 2 shield, so effectively 7. So we kill the living bones and we have fulfilled our battle goal. I mean, sorry, our personal life goal. So that's the 7th check mark. Get to throw that down here. There we go. All right. So then we're done. So then it's the... So we don't even need to create the dark anymore. But we might as well. We've got nothing else to do. So we'll use... mean, we could move to here and not pick up any coins, then we could actually make an attack and kill this. Gain 1 experience, but no coins. But then we just spend the rest of our scenario down here picking up all the coins. I like it. All right, sure. So what we're going to do actually then is we'll use the bottom of Encompassing Shadows actually as a move 2. Oh, but we don't have ice. We actually don't gain experience from this. Mindthief was the last one to go. We could create ice now with a mana potion for 1 experience. Yeah, sure, why not? Doesn't really matter. So we'll use our mana potion to create ice. Okay, so then, like I said, we'll use a move 2 here, plus our boots to get 4 movement total. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. We're going to consume the ice using the top of Stoking Hail to make an attack 2 stun. Also, actually attack 3 because of the poison. We have a -2 in our deck, so we'll consume the earth as well using Formless Power. So this actually makes this an attack 4. So only a miss would not kill. All right. So we kill this. I guess we do care about getting experience quite a lot since our battle goal. Okay. Living Bones have been eliminated. And then the Frost Demon goes and dies to its wound. So 1 life left. And the Scoundrel heals for 1 for getting a kill. Oh, it's also lost. And that's the end of the round. All right. So we have no way of generating experience. We have actually nothing to do except fighting. We don't need to create dark now. We are, like I said, just going to go. I mean, I guess we should save the ice creation as well. Just gonna waddle around down here picking up coins, and while our other allies go try to be useful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have 5 movement though, to the best of my knowledge, right? We lost our only 5. No, we do have a 5. Okay, perfect. So that works. And again, we should just keep our dark thing up. So just a card to throw away here. Guess it can just be the mind's weakness, to be honest. And then the Scoundrel, what are we doing? It's kind of 3 movement is good here. And as for a top to throw away, Spring the Trap is actually useless now. So we can get rid of that. Well, the top is useless, and I'm not really planning on playing it for the loss, at least not in the immediate future. All right, let's go. So Mindthief first does a move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coin goes down here. So then the Scoundrel goes, move 3 with Swiftbow. I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible. I do apologize to everyone who's watching and was hoping for a more riveting scenario. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you play with 2 level 9 characters. But again, we'll be done with them after the scenario, and then we will be back to hopefully some more challenging Gloomhaven. Do nothing with the top, no reason to ham. And then the Elementalist is just going to do a generic move 2. And grab these coins here. So we do want experience for our battle goal, and battle goals are kind of nice, but we also do really want money. I think we'll just take money, because if we don't short rest now or long rest, we actually don't do anything next turn. But I guess move 2 works. So we do move 2 and then move 2. Yeah, well, a lot of move 2s, but that's fine, I guess. I wish I had one more move. God, really made quite the mistake there. All right. Even on a small movement scenario like this, I should have known better. So we can't quite make it to the door yet as a Scoundrel, so better to save our invisibility. So we'll just use one of our bigger movements, and I guess we'll want to save, again, these 2 for when we go in, so we'll just play these 2 for now. As we move on up, we have our boots to long rest. As for here, so we can create dark before going in. I mean, the turn before, so I guess it does, yeah, this would be the turn before. So we'll create dark now, and we'll want a bigger move when we go in, as well as kind of late initiative, and the tops really don't matter much. So yeah, something like this for this turn. All right. So down here, the dark will be created by the Mindthief this turn, and then we'll need to create it for the Mindthief the following turn. Ah, but we need to go. So what if actually then it's better for the Mindthief to create the dark for herself next turn? Because the problem is we have to go before the Mindthief next turn if the Mindthief ends up going late because we want the Scoundrel to open the door with Invis. I guess the question is, do we actually need the Scoundrel to open the door with Invis? Not necessarily. We know there'll be Flame Demons, so the Invis doesn't really do much. All right, yeah, we can just do it like this then. All right. So we just need to save this card, and the other card really doesn't matter at all. So we'll play something like these two. Oops, how did that get there? No. All right, so first things first is a Scoundrel. We're going to do a move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It pains us to no end not to have made it to the coin, but we don't even have our boots to give us just a little boost. And then it's the Mindthief's turn. We're going to use the bottom of Corrupting Embrace, do a move 4 jump, creating dark, going here. Getting this coin, and adding dark. And then it's the Elementalist's turn, who's just going to do a generic move 2. What a scenario. Okay, so we're going to create dark, but after the Mindthief goes, these two are both fine. Mindthief goes early, jumps in, presumably executes something. Scoundrel runs in Invis and attacks something. Okay, let's go. So first things first is the Mindthief. So we have a move 4 jump. 1. Hey, Baker Kid, what's the wait what? Alright, so we have 1 elite and 2 regular flame demons. So there's just be an elite flame demon that we have to worry about finding a way to kill at some point. The rest of this should be laughingly simple. Oh, this is a board game. This is all a board game, an enormous board game. The greatest of all board games. Depending how you look at it. I really need to get water, by the way. My throat's dying. I'll have to do it after this round. It's called Gloomhaven. Also quiet voice. Ah, is my voice that quiet? I'm sorry. I should turn it up a little bit then. Sorry, but yeah, my throat's a little bit sore, so it's possible that that's kind of what's coming through as well. And we've got 2 elite bones here. No, oh, I was looking at the wrong. No, it's top right. It's top right. I thought for a second that I made a mistake there. Oh, I did. I did make a mistake. In the previous room. God, so this room I did correctly. So they're all regular here. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah, but that's a mouse. How'd you get it on PC? It's quite a large board game. How'd you get it on PC? So I'm playing on Tabletop Simulator, which is basically like a physics, simulation to play board games in. Okay. So yes, if you check down in the link below, let me see. Let me just scroll down in my thing real quick. I believe I do have it down there. Yes. So you can find the link to the mod I use. Otherwise, you can also Google Gloomhaven Fantasy Setup. It just depends on your preferred mode of setting up scenarios, whether you do the hidden rooms variant or the regular variant. I mean, there are rules as written. All right, I will set it up for 4 players. But yeah, if you look under various resources and you click the link, the TTS mod I use, you can actually find the link to the mod. In order to play that, you just need what's called TTS or Tabletop Simulator, which, let me double check, I believe is still on sale. Which is like I said, a physics simulation that allows you to play board games. There are a lot of good board games. So many, yeah, it is still on sale. How long does the sale go for? It goes until, when is the sale until? Well, I'm not sure. I guess we just go to the storefront page. It should tell us. Until, yes, January 3rd. So you've got basically a day and a half. And yeah, Tabletop Simulator is great. There are a ton of free games in it. Many games are also paid DLC, so you actually have to pay for them, but then they're like, supported actually by the company. Here, this is just made by some modders, but it does have the stamp of approval of Isaac. Another example I frequently give is Spirit Island, which is another great game, which is also free to play on Tabletop Simulator. So yeah, if you just spend the $10 to get it, you can basically play it on here as much as you want. You can play multiplayer or solo. You can play like hot seat multiplayer, or you can play online multiplayer with other people. And this this mod is a little bit more rugged, but it suits my needs a bit more. But the other mod looks even better than this one. So yeah, it can be quite enjoyable, I think. All right, but yeah, so I'll flex on this scenario. So to explain what happened here is we actually made a mistake. I'm a little bit out of it, I think. So when we set up this room, we set up the bottom right correctly with one regular and one elite, but here we actually set up one elite and two regulars. It actually should have been three regulars. So as ECO said, we will flex on the scenario a little bit for the last room, since here we can say that we've transitioned from 3 players to 4 players, although we actually transitioned from 3 to 2 as 1 player is down here. We did 2 player setup, 3 player setup here, and then we did half 3, half 4 setup here, and then we are going to do, I guess, full 4 setup here. Why not? All right, so we've got 2 elite living bones then. And again, we'll basically be dealing with this room as just 2 characters, but why not? If honestly, yeah, if we did 3 player setup here and this was a regular flame demon, this scenario, it's a breeze. Here, maybe we at least have a little bit of a challenge. I am actually just going to go get my water right now, though, because my throat is really dying. So just be right back 1 second. Sorry. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. Some water. Okay, so what are they all up to? Yeah, standard stuff. That's fine. So we have still 3 movement remaining with our Mindthief, with the jump on feedback loop. So we'll go 1, 2 to here, I think. They are going to go before the Scoundrel goes. That's a little bit annoying. Makes our invis plans a little bit worse, but that's okay, I guess. Yeah, we can't withstand all this damage. The Scoundrel at least has the super heal with the Helix Ring. And maybe we could use the Helix Ring, which is fun. Okay, so yeah, we'll move to there. We'll use, because we had 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we couldn't go to here, so we have to go here. All right, and then we'll use the top attack with this, with our Dark, to again just execute one of these Flame Demons, like so. I guess I should set up their actual health. Well, I'm not going to set up the regulars. Let's be real. All right. And the bones have 14 health. Okay, and then we're going to pop our Invis Cloak so that we don't get hammered in here. So one of these is actually going to hit the Scoundrel as well. Scoundrel's going to take a lot of damage here. All right, all right. One of those being an elite. Would it have been one? Yeah. So actually, if this had been a regular, we wouldn't get hit by the bones here. Interesting. All right, so then the Elementalist goes. We're just going to do a move to, which creates light and dark. We're going to move, I guess, to this coin here. And create both light and dark. And do nothing with the top action. Then the Flame Demons go. They're going to create fire. And so they have 6 range on the elite, 5 range on the regular, 5 attack, 4 attack, respectively. So we need to go 1, either always to one of these two. Further away makes sense for a ranged enemy. So it makes an attack 5 on the Scoundrel. Ooh, okay. Oh, we don't have any cards in hand? Alright, well, this just got a bit more real, huh? A bit more real. Goodbye, Spring the Trap. Or do we want to try to use Spring the Trap to kill the Elite Flame Demon? I mean, at most we can get to a 16. This would allow us to one-shot it. It's kind of difficult to do, and it costs another loss. But we're definitely getting rid of Visage. And I guess we can get rid of Swiftbow as well. We'll try to keep Spring the Trap for now. Maybe we'll use it. Oops, no, this should be here. Yes, all right. So we'll negate that crit, which was going to be for 10, because we're going to get 2 more attacks on us, one from the Flame Demon and one from a Bones. So it's much better if we... Yeah, it really sucks that our initiative was at 26 here. This 24, particularly... I guess the Bones isn't hitting us. So actually, hold on. If the Bones isn't hitting us, this is a 10. So then... it's the most dangerous game, right? So this Flame Demon's going to hit us. What has already been flipped? 2 -1s. If we got a -1 or a -2, then it would be worth not doing it. Because then we would actually be able to use Helix Ring and heal to full. All right, let's try to live dangerously. I think it doesn't change too much since we may want to use Helix Ring anyway. So if we don't lose to this here, what sucks now, so we're going to take 10. I mean, this crit did really suck, without a doubt. Is that by going down to 4, now if the Flame Demon gets +0 or higher, we have to lose a card, except instead of losing a card and being at 9, we're losing a card and being at 4. But the upside is if he gets a -1, which would, I mean, obviously is less likely, but still a possibility, then we get, we'll go down to 1, which is perfect because we can Helix Ring to full. Why did you discard 2 cards? I understand you can discard to stop the damage, but 2 because of the crit. No, so what I was considering doing, which I've decided to revert, is, I mean, decided not to do in the end, is so anytime to negate a single source of damage, you may either lose 1 card from your hand or 2 cards from your discard. So in this instance, I actually have no cards left in the Scoundrel's hand right now. So in order to negate this crit, I would actually have to lose 2 cards from my discard, which is obviously much more costly. If it was just 1 card from hand right now, rather than 2 cards from discard, I would actually almost certainly lose. But here, it's so bad to lose 2 cards now that I think I prefer to try to take the risk and get lucky. So we'll take it. We're down to 4. So then we've got the remaining Flame Demon, which goes. So again, this one has 5 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it just needs to move up 1. Okay, -1, -1, -1. Ah, man. We were greedy. It's kind of a similar outcome regardless. Not a big deal. Okay. So then we go at 26. So we have a move to that doesn't viz. No, this actually is significantly worse because now with the retaliate, we're gonna maybe we're just not ever gonna get retaliated. All right. Well, regardless, we're gonna use the Helix Ring here. So we're gonna get a heal 25. So we're gonna go from 4 up to 20. So the Helix Ring is during your turn, you can consume light and dark to perform a heal 25 self action. We have light and dark, so we'll consume both those. Question is just how we want to approach these things. If we use Burning Oil, it's not going to deal any damage, but it will put a wound on the Flame Demon, which is valuable. But if our plan is to try to one-shot the Flame Demon anyway, using Spring the Trap, which is the only reason we would have kept Spring the Trap, then we shouldn't really need to put a wound on it, because our attack with Spring the Trap will do 16, and its effective health is only, what, 13. I guess we're not going to have advantage for that attack, so there's certainly a lot of risk to this. But I think that's correct. So accordingly, there's no real reason to take retaliate damage for nothing by just throwing burning oil on someone. So I suppose we're just going to do our move 2 with stick to the shadows, going invisible somewhere. Where do we want to go invisible? These moving this direction is not necessarily a bad thing, is it? We both long rest and then everything moves down this way. If we go here, then they don't move at all and they stay in the corner. I'm not sure which is better, actually. I guess them not staying in the corner is probably better. But I also kind of want to get close to this. Actually, let's see. How is this going to move? Because I'm next to it, then I can immediately do Spring the Trap. So this has how much movement? 4? So, and if we're both invisible, it's going to go, well, presuming it moves, which hopefully it does. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to kind of stay actually around where we are. So actually, let's just, yeah, and if it gets -1 movement or something, then it'll be 3. It'll be here. Yeah. All right, so actually, let's just stay where we are. Let's just move in place using the bottom of Stick to the Shadows just to go invisible. And then the Living Bones are going to go. And so they have 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then that's the end of the round. So I could long rest here. Long resting does heal me and gets me back to Skullbane Axe, which is nice. Here I do want to long rest, but I'm not actually missing any health. Rather, I could just go late. But going late doesn't really work, because they're not very likely to have moved past me. And I don't actually have a top that goes late. I mean, I guess I have Burning Oil. I suppose that's fine. What does the bottom of Long Con do again? It just turns one of them for us. So what if I go late this next turn playing Burning Oil plus Spring the Trap, presumably using Burning Oil to hit one of the skeletons. And then the following turn, I use this top of Stick to the Shadows with like the bottom of Long Con for initiative to make sure that I can hit the elite, who should presumably be next to me. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So let's short rest. This means there's a lot of things we can't lose on our short rest, though. Well, Flanking Strike is actually a card we can lose, so that's fine. All right, great. So similarly, I think we want to short rest and just go late and try to execute the regular. Yeah, that's fine. That's our biggest move, but we shouldn't need more than move 4 jump anyway. So our 79 on feedback loop will still have us go even after the 77, which I believe is the latest from the Flame Demons. We just want to go late here because we're both invisible, so we don't want the enemies to be able to hit/focus us. All right, so we set that up. So we need to save this plus this for initiative. We won't have a lot of movement, but it shouldn't matter. It should be near us. I guess if it doesn't move this turn, then I guess we just short rest back and get a better move. All right. Oh wait, no, we have our 2 things. So we still have this no matter what. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, so the Mindthief is just moving with that, so it just needs to play any sort of a top attack as an execute. A card which we don't want afterwards so much. I guess we're going to need the Mind's Weakness because we're going to start hitting elites, so we're going to have to swap out augments soon enough. This bottom is useful. I guess Dark Frenzy isn't very good against them because it doesn't attack 3, but they have 2 shield. It's fine for us to play that. And down here, should it be a long rest? No, let's just keep grabbing coins. Yeah, it's a shame because that's a good source of experience, but so be it. Okay, so we can create. So we can't actually use this. So in order to create dark for the Mindthief here, I mean without having to use a potion, which is better to not have to, we can use that. And as a top, we have nothing that really does anything, so it's better to throw away a card that we don't want in the near future, which is going to be probably one of these. I guess that other one has better initiative and potentially ice creation. All right, let's do it. I just need them to move. +1 move, huh? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So Flame Demons actually go first, creating new fire. And I'm going to do +1 movement. So 5 movement on each of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So then the Elementalist goes, does a move 2, which creates dark and light. Supporting from a distance. We grab this coin. And do nothing with the top. I guess, yeah, we should... This isn't really the card we want to ham back. I guess it doesn't change much because we can just play this instead of the card we would want. Yeah, we'll use a slice of ham here. Since we have an odd number of cards in our hand, this gives us an extra turn by using a slice of ham to get this back. Okay, so then the Mindthief goes. Oh, the bones haven't gone yet, but they're not moving. So that's fine. Okay, so we're going to do a move 4 jump with feedback loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. We don't want to be next to the bones, obviously. And then we're just going to use the top of Dark Frenzy as whatever generic attack. Consume the dark and use Phantasmal Killer to execute this regular Flame Demon. Okay, then the Living Bones go, but they do nothing because they're not moving. And then the Scoundrel goes, so we're going to create fire. Well, that's already done. We're doing attack 4, range 3. Doesn't matter so much which one we hit. I guess we'll hit number 6. It's further. Might do more for longer. So we get an attack 4, range 3 wound, targeting skeleton number 6. Would have preferred to see that on him. I guess it didn't really matter so much. It's a reshuffle anyway. So 4 becomes an 8. He has 2 shields, so it does 6 damage, putting him down to 8. And wounds him. Okay, and then we're going to activate the bottom of Spring the Trap. So on your next attack, target an enemy adjacent to none of its allies, but also adjacent to any of your allies, double the value of the attack. And we do need dark, so we're going to use our minor mana potion to create dark our turn. So we don't need anyone to go before us since we're going to go at 2 to make sure that we're good. Okay. And we'll get a summon, which will give us the adjacency there. So we both lost our invises. So what is the Mindthief doing then? So we can no longer execute, so we do need to set up the Mind's weakness. Before doing anything else, I guess this is not bad to do, since we need to move anyway. Yeah, we can just do these 2 things. This is fine. And then the following turn, we can probably double stun by using Frigid plus Perverse, because the Elementalists can create ice for us. So creating ice, and picking up more coins, and none of these other things really matter. So we'll get rid of that. Dark creation doesn't really matter anymore. Okay. I think this is actually gone. Yeah, I think I forgot to consume it. So no, that was created. Yeah, these were like that. This should have been up here. Or was there dark created that wasn't used? No, the dark was created by the Mindthief. I just forgot to use it. Right. And then I created it again by using the minor mana potion on the Scoundrel. All right, let's go. That's fine. So first up is the Scoundrel. We're going to use Stick to the Shadows, Consuming the Dark. Well, first we're going to use the Mountain Hammer to bring out the Hammer Time Friend. I guess we'll put it here because this puts it closer to getting to do stuff over there. Okay, so we now have an ally adjacent to the Flame Demon, and it is not adjacent to any of its allies, which triggers the bottom of Spring the Trap. So this doubles our attack. So our attack 8, because again, the enemy is adjacent to any of our allies, and we did consume dark. Attack 8 becomes a 16. Nice. So 17, so that's a one-shot. Just had to be afraid of a miss there. And then we're going to use the bottom of Long Con to do a generic move 2. And I guess this one's kind of more on the way for the Elementalists, so sure, we'll pick up this one. We could actually math it out, but I'm not going to go that far for worrying about 1 coin. All right, then the Mindthief goes. So move 2, heal 2 self, which also strengthens. Move to here so that the summon can go there next turn and attack. And then we attack the bones. So we're going to deactivate this, and we're going to activate the Mind's weakness. So this gives us simply an attack 3 advantage against the Elite Bones number 3. All these conditions are irrelevant. All right. So what we ended up getting was +1, +1, +1, and then -1. So +2. The other conditions are actually completely irrelevant. And this, for example, is why rolling modifiers are very, very good, and there needs to be the rules version, well, at least in my opinion, to balance them out. So +2 on what was otherwise a 3, gives us a 5, -2 shield, 3, down to 11. Okay, living bones go, so it's just shield 1, heal 2. So much for our wound doing something. So this one's up to 13. This one goes up 1 because it takes 1 damage from its wound first. So up to 9. Okay. So flame demons are eliminated. Then the Elementalist goes and does a move 2, which creates ice. Supporting from a distance. Oops. Almost. So creating ice. Alright, so we still have our move. Oh no, did we lose Crystallizing Blast? We did. It was actually our first lot. We have no big moves. Woof. So a move 2, and then a move 2, and then a move 2, and yeah, okay, all those things. Alright. I mean, there's none of these things that can give experience. I guess this can theoretically be the longest range, so better to keep that. Not that it really matters much. Actually, they have the same range, effectively. Alright. Now, we could have actually hammed back the long con on the Scoundrel. We forgot to, since we just used a generic move. We should have, actually, but oh well. Oh no! Do we have any move jumps anymore? We don't. Alright. Goodbye, long con. Well, at least we only had to use that, like, twice this scenario. Only once that really mattered. Makes us feel a little bit better about what we've done. So our summon will go there. We're not going to really be able to move up at all. But I guess the Mindthief moves back, but the Mindthief is just going to double stun. I guess the Mindthief doesn't need to double stun then. But I suppose it's always the front one which is going to be stunned, so it doesn't really change much. What if we stun the front one, consuming ice, and then move back, and this way the Scoundrel can move up? But the Scoundrel doesn't need to move up, but I guess moving up isn't necessarily a bad thing. This allows us to use this, and then we can have Burning Oil for the back one the following turn. Or we can have this the following turn with Burning Oil now. Yeah, that seems maybe even better. What if the bones go at 20? Yeah, they can do that. They just reshuffled though. Yeah, it's not super likely. I mean, I guess this is just safer because this is the only turn that we need to go fast. So actually, yeah, that makes more sense. So let's just go up and do this now then with this. That way we avoid their 20. Although it obviously makes the 12 worse now because they'll heal off our wound, but so be it. So yeah, we're going to do Frigid and move away. And I guess our move away, it needs to come before the Scoundrel, which is fine. And we can use this as a generic move because then we can just ham it back. And we have an odd number of cards in our hands. This works perfectly. All right, let's go. Sure. Let's have a sip of water. So, as the Mindthief, we're going to consume the ice. Gives us an attack 4, +2 from Mind's weakness, gives us an attack 6. Advantaged, stun because of consuming the ice, targeting the adjacent elite bones. Okay, so 6 -2 for shield gives us 4 damage, puts him down to 9, and stuns him. And then I guess we'll just do, yeah, it's unlikely the Elementalist even makes it up here, so we'll just pick up this coin by doing a generic move 2, moving on to this coin with the bottom of Perverse Edge, and then we'll use a Slice of Ham to get back the bottom of Perverse Edge. And we're done. So then the Scoundrel goes, so first it's the Summon, who walks up to here, makes an attack 3, again on the bones. 4, 5. So 5 -2 is 3, putting the bones down to 6. Then it's the Scoundrel's turn. Scoundrel's going to use the bottom of Stick to the Shadows as a move 2 Invis. Except we're just going to actually use his generic move 2 here so we can get it back with Ham. Missing out on the Invis this way, but that's okay. And then we're going to use the top of Open Wound, which gives us an attack 5 wound targeting skeleton number 3. So 7, but he has 2 shields, so 5, putting him down to 1, means he will in fact die from his wound. Stun was unnecessary, but so be it. Summons on Scoundrel, so good. Summons on Scoundrel are so good. I agree. So then we just have the Elementalist. Performs another move too. The Living Bones go, like I said. This one's stunned and wounded, has 1 health and dies. Is the Scoundrel missing any health? Nope, so no healing. So drops a coin here, and then this one doesn't do anything because it does not move. And that's the end of the round. Right. Elementalist just keeps on keeping on. Is it possible that we could... No, but I mean, even if we short rest early, it changes nothing. We can't get to the coin this turn, so we just don't want to kill the bones this turn, but I guess that shouldn't happen. Let's go with a slightly later card just to see, so we can decide what we'll do based on what happens with the Scoundrel. Okay, oh, 25, so I actually get to go. Oh, he gets to go before everyone. Poor summon. Not like this. That's okay. So Living Bones goes, +1 move, -1 attack. So it's going to move to here, making a nice little coin pile for us. We should not have this anymore either. All right, so -1 attack. First it will attack the Scoundrel summon and then the Scoundrel. So attack 3 first on the hammer. Ooh, miss, nice. Summon 2 strong. And then on the Scoundrel. All right, so we got a 3 +1, so 4 damage to the Scoundrel. Okay, so then the Scoundrel goes, so it's the summon that goes first and makes an attack 3. 4. Invis, second Invis summon. 5. 6. Jeez. All right, so we have Invis summon. We can make the Invis wall between ourselves and our summon. So it was a 6 in the end, right? Oops. It was the monsters that, yeah. So we get +3 on what was normally a 3 attack. So 6. 6 -2 gives us 4, putting him to 5. Okay. So then we get to go. Well, do we really want to burning oil him? It shouldn't kill, right? He's already gone. So if we get, what if we get +1? We get 5, which is 2 damage. Yeah. Even at +2, that's 6, which is 4 damage. So yeah, literally only a crit kills him. We can just do a disadvantage. Yeah, that's probably fine actually. Ooh, but I do want to get that loot. We don't have jump anymore, so we can't make it over there. It doesn't really matter. All right, so we're gonna attack with burning oil adjacent, so we're disadvantaged. So yep, creating fire and attacking this bones. Okay, so that makes our attack into a 5, which does 3 damage to the bones, putting him down to 2, and wounds him. And we don't want the Mindthief attacking, I think. Mindthief can stun him? No. Short rest. Can we make it to any coins with a move 5? Because the Mindthief can pick up this one, and we can make it to that one. So the Mindthief needs to move in. So yeah, even with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we'll just do a generic move. Well, I mean, whatever. We'll use Stick to the Shadows to move back, and also go invisible. Okay, so then it's the Elementalist's turn. The Elementalist is going to make a generic move too. And then the Mindthief goes. So I need to be adjacent to him. So I'm just going to move up to here like this. And I guess create. I guess I'll do. Yeah, so I'll do move 4 jump with Corrupting Embrace actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thereby poisoning him. I mean, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And creating dark. And then I won't do anything with the top. Because I don't want him to die this turn. And it's not me who has a potion, it's just the Elementalist, but it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, so I'm just going to short rest. I think I want to use Perverse Edge. Go out with a bang, right? Alright, so let's just reroll. Sure. Because we're moving after us, it's not like we can gain advantage. And so, what? I mean, there's no way we can get to other coins, so yeah. That's fine to lose that, we just need to keep our big movement. So the bottom action really matters not at all, I guess. On the chance that we somehow don't kill it, sure, we can do something like this. It's the best initiative we have is from our top action anyway. Alright, short rest here so we can pick up the coin. Sure. Also just does not matter. Again, we have no way of gaining experience without being able to attack, so we cannot gain any more experience. Cannot gain experience with moving either. So we'll just play 2 cards, doesn't really matter which ones. And here we go. All right, so the Mindthief is first. We're going to use the top first edge to make an attack 3, plus 2 from the Mind's weakness gives us a 5, plus 2 for each negative condition on the target. There are 2 negative conditions on the target, so 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 7, 9, and then 10 because of the poison. So we get an attack 10 on the living bones. All right, so the bones is dead, so I'm just going to go through all the other things real quick. So that drops a coin here. Mindthief will then use the bottom move to go pick up these 2 coins. The Scoundrel has a move 5, so she will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make it to this coin. And then the Elementalist will use one of the move 2s on the bottom to make it to this coin. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, whatever, level 9 characters, basically. Moral of the story, fortunately, we're getting away from level 9 characters now. Both the Mindthief and the Scoundrel are retiring, so we should be able to get back to playing some much more reasonable Gloomhaven. As a reminder, this was actually +3 difficulty, and we ended up setting up so it was not, yeah, technically half of the scenario as 4-player setup rather than 3, although obviously not the most difficult half, which was in the beginning. And we had one of our characters literally not participate for at least a third of the scenario, and we still won very easily. Okay, let's do these things. So now we're going to have to we're going to do retirement and a bunch of things. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to post a poll. So we're going to unlock Sun, which we already have, and Music Note. So let me just go ahead and check this over here. So I'm going to ask to chat now who we're going to play. So our options are, let me just create the poll real quick, and then I'll list them. All right, let's do a straw poll. Give me a second. I think we'll have a pretty nice party, but we'll see. So yeah, an angry face is the one other one. All right. Okay. So allow multiple answers. Check. So we're creating the poll right now, and I will link it myself in chat right now. All right, so this is the poll. So we're asking which characters we should add to our party. So we are going to add 2 characters to our party. This is why I've allowed multiple answers to this. Since we're playing with triangles, I really don't like triangles in a 2-player party. I mean, it can certainly work, especially after level 7, especially at level 7 in 2 players because there's very few elites. Level 7 just gets kind of stupid, but that's also not what I really want to be emphasizing with playing triangles here. I mean, Elementalists, I don't need to call it triangles anymore because we've already spoiled that. So I'd rather do something, and I see much more people just tuned in, so I'll just link that one more time. I'd rather get to do something more elementalisty rather than just spamming primal duality plus vengeance or whatever it's called. So yeah, feel free to vote. We're going to be doing a 3-player party, and we're going to be adding 2. I do reserve the right to make some modifications if you try to troll me too much with the party setup. I've included Spellweaver there because I believe Spellweaver is the best support for playing Elementalist as an actual Elementalist rather than as spamming 2 abilities. Which, like I said, we're still going to play the Elementalist however we can, no matter what, but Spellweaver does potentially unlock the possibility to do some additional stuff. We're going to try to do some additional stuff regardless, but Spellweaver just might make it easier. So this is why I actually am including that option from a starting class. Also, I enjoy playing the Spellweaver, so I don't mind adding the Spellweaver back in. So that's why the Spellweaver is there, in addition to the unlockable classes that we can add. So feel free to vote away, but do try to keep in mind adding a relatively balanced party. Okay, so we replayed a scenario, so we don't get anything there. Scenario level was 6 because it's always +1, so it's 16 experience plus the 5 there. So this gives us a total of 21 experience. All right, and then money-wise, the coins are worth 5 each because again, monsters and traps were at 7, but scenario is actually 6 since we're playing solo. So gold is, our coins were 5 each, so we've got 40 gold here. Not bad. It's up to 45. And I believe we're going to buy a couple items real quick. We're going to buy a moon earring, without a doubt. So that costs 17 gold. Oh, that's actually all the small items we can carry. I wonder if we should actually have the ham. But I feel bad to get rid of it already. And then I guess it's probably the hawk helm. So we need a helm of some sort. Could be the empowering talisman, but without stamina potions, I think that's a little bit less impressive. The thing is that the eagle-eye goggles are actually really bad for the elementalists because you just make plus zeros with elements, and because the elements are all ambiguous, it doesn't actually like it's very rarely advantageous to have advantage because you just have a bunch of plus zeros with elements, as most of your modifiers. I mean, it avoids the -2 in your deck, but I consider this to be pretty negligible. Yeah. So accordingly, I think I would definitely prefer to take the hawk helm. I don't think they're. I mean, so it's really just like hawk helm or taking one of the generically good helms. There are no other helms down here that we really care about. Oh yeah, we could take the Drake Scale helm. So no, I think Hawk helm is. I mean, it's not very expensive. I think it's a perfectly fine choice here. So 17 more gold for that. Puts us down to 11. So now we just need a chest piece, and the chest piece of choice. So there's Robes of Evocation. This is all right, I think. It kind of overlaps a bit with Formless Power, but it also, I mean, at some point we won't have Formless Power anymore, although we also have Simulacrum, but still. So that's a consideration. Otherwise, I mean, so I think it's always either that or Cloak of Pockets. But we don't have to make this decision yet anyway, because we don't have enough gold even for Cloak of Pockets, and we're never just going to buy Cloak of Pockets and not any of the small items. So we'll just stay like that for now, which is good. Okay. 4 to 10, and clear that. All right. So let's get to these retirements. Well, we'll retire the Scoundrel first because we care less about her. So we gain 20 gold from this scenario, so it puts us to 44. Experience and all that stuff don't matter. Did I put the battle goals away? Yes, I did. No one gained any. Well, or I didn't track them for them because it just didn't matter. All right, so we've got 100, 200, 300. Exactly? 100, 200, 300. Yep. So it's 150 gold. So it puts us at 194. I'm just going to write this here rather than checking it all the way up. So with 194, we can do some enhancements now. I have to start clearing this up before it gets out of control like our previous thing. I have to just remember to do this in between sessions at some point. All right, so what do we do with 194 gold on a Scoundrel? Let's look at all our cards. So the cards we brought are the best candidates for enhancement, right? Don't necessarily want to enhance something else. Our prosperity is 5, so we can have 5 different cards enhanced. Fortunately, we're not close to having enough for long con. We have... So what do we already have enhanced? We have this enhanced, this enhanced, this enhanced. Those all our enhancements? Yeah, I guess so. I don't believe we enhanced anything else. All right. So, I mean, I'm not sure we'll ever play the class again. +1 movement on Special Mixture is quite nice if we had the helm, but we didn't actually have it, so this mattered a lot less. Oh no, we have 4 enhanced cards, but we can still enhance another one because we got the top open wound as well. Enhancing one of these cards again is also kind of interesting because it would give us more flexibility going forward. Put disarm on flanking strike. High damage attacks with disarm is kind of silly. What about burning oil? Burning oil is such a good attack, and through prosperity 5 we'll always use that a lot. How much gold is it to enhance? This is 125 to add +1 attack. It is like our best attack. So 125 for the level plus 50 for +1 attack. That's 175. So the best we could do there really would just be +1 attack. We wouldn't be able to add anything else. Because at 200 we could add different conditions. But 50 gold doesn't do any conditions, I believe. 75 for conditions normally. Right? Yeah, except for a model. Just don't think we want that. So so +1 attack on Burning Oil, this is a possibility. The other option is to try to put Dark on something. The advantage of putting Dark on something is making it so that our level 7 card, which was good in this party, is always good. Where is it? Stick to the Shadows. If we have Dark enhancement on a move, the best candidate for that is probably Open Wound, although this is a shame because we have the top of Open Wound already enhanced. We've already got the jump here, so we don't have another good move to put Dark on. I mean, it could be the bottom Visage. This is so-so. It could be the bottom Special Mixture, but no. Yeah, I mean, honestly, probably just putting +1 on Burning Oil is the best. At the same time, all right, let's consider that if we ever play the Scoundrel again, maybe we want to try the Watch It Burn build. I think this build is so bad, but I have never tried it. So this would at least give me something different to do with the Scoundrel. So let's think about that. So if we're going to play the Scoundrel again, we're going to play Watch It Burn. I mean, / Crippling Poison or whatever it is. Where is that other one? Yeah, Crippling Poison. So the goal with this build is to use your multi-target ranged attacks as much as possible. I have not tried the poison build for her. I think it's not very realistic. So there are a couple reasons for this. Well, so I mean, I guess it depends how you mean by the poison build. If you mean the poison build just using crippling poison, it's possible that this can be a real build. I'm not really sure. If you mean by that plus Watch It Burn, I don't think that this can ever be correct. Not because it's not interesting. So first of all, I mean, there are two big problems with this build. The first problem, of course, is the Scoundrel has 9 cards, and you basically need to play 2% losses to turn it on. Yeah, so you mean just Crippling Poison, or you mean with Watch It Burn as well? Because that could be another option, is just to try the Crippling Poison build. Only Crippling Poison. Okay. So I think that's more realistic. Because again, my concern with this, with trying to use Watch It Burn, is, well, first of all, again, it requires 2 persistent losses. And secondly, it means not taking Long Con, which is a completely broken card. So what if we tried Crippling Poison? What if we tried to play with that next time? So how would we set that up for next time? That's interesting. Because I can get behind that. Enhancing the Scoundrel for potential different builds next time is kind of interesting. So we would want, in that case, to focus on anything that we had that can apply poison. So in that case, it's Special Mixture, Visage, and Venom Shiv. We can also add poison to things, which could easily apply it. Throwing Knives. Unfortunately, our multi-target ranged attacks can't add poison. Duelist Advance could. That's interesting, because then our bottom attack, so then the Duelist Advance Thief Snack combo is actually pretty spicy, right? If this adds poison, then the follow-up attack is a 6 on bottom. That allows us to move 3, attack 6. That's kind of interesting. All right. So, Mike, do you have experience with this build? Do you have any suggestions for where I should try to focus my enhancements? So, enhancing Venom Shiv with something seems decent to me because then, I mean, we've already got poison on attack. Venom Shiv scales kind of poorly because it's bad initiative. 60 is really bad initiative. Again, late initiative is interesting. You're playing it right now. All right, so have you done enhancements? And if so, what enhancements do you feel help the most? We could also do +1 movement on the bottom of Visage. This seems pretty decent because Visage, the 2 movement is kind of crippling. It's a lot of money to just increase to 3 movement, so it might be better just trying to rely on Boots of Striding in order to do this in the future, not putting a +1 movement enhancement. I mean, this is obviously part of the build. This is like so valuable, and getting this at 5 and then crippling poison at 6 seems quite good. So we'll always be using these 2 bottom moves. I guess it's just being able to hit a bunch of targets is easier when you have more movement, which makes this kind of decent. Also, just enhancing Visage in general is good for the Scoundrel. If we did +1 movement here, it would cost, so +1 movement is 30 gold, so it would cost 130 gold already. Yeah. So with 130 gold left, we still wouldn't be able to put poison here. We'd be 6 gold away from, no, we'd be 11 gold away. So we could do like +1 move on both of them. That's interesting. Otherwise, is throwing that was the first thing I thought about. Throwing knives, just like Flurry, is only enhanceable in range. And I think the level 8 card is even the same, right? Yeah, Stiletto Storm as well. That's a little bit silly at some point, right? But yeah, no, so we can't I mean, all right. I understand why there's not a dot there, but can we be real for a second? The fact that there's no dot added to something like Throwing Knives or Flurry or even the level 8 card Stiletto Storm, which is ungodly expensive to enhance, that Isaac had the wherewithal to not put enhancement dots here, but then did put an enhancement dot on things like Crystallizing Blast or Dirt Tornado. How does these two things happen? Yeah, Flurry can certainly be poison delivery. But again, Flurry we can't, I mean, we can't enhance it anyway, so it doesn't change anything. So I think +1 move here is probably the best. It just sucks that then, I mean, we could then put +1 attack here. I'm not sure we ever, I mean, even with this build, I think we probably just don't use Venom Shiv, to be honest. It's just too bad of a top action. Better to use our bottom actions to apply poison and our top actions, with the exception of, like I said, something like Duelist Advance. So it's true that Duelist Advance does also get better because Thief Snack gets better, right? Since we're going to have poison on our enemies a lot, being able to do 2 attacks in 1 turn is actually very valuable. So we probably want to play Thief Snacks more. Yeah, we're retiring both our Scoundrel and our Mindthief. And because playing the standard Scoundrel again isn't very appealing to me, I have 194 gold to do enhancements with, and I'm going to try to set up a Crippling Poison build, which is not going to be the immediate future, but potentially in the in the slightly distant future. So how expensive poison here? Poison here is really expensive is the problem. But yeah, so we're retiring our Scoundrel and our Mindthief. We're just doing our enhancement first. Yeah, honestly, I think the +1 movement here is just the best enhancement. I don't think there's any reason to try to be cute. This is just really good. So let's do that. Oops. Nice little micro starter there. All right. So +1 movement on that. So that cost us, again, it was 100 gold because it's a level 5 card, and then 30 gold for movement. So 130 gold. So we have 64 gold left. All right. Ah, congratulations. Which class, again, remember to use symbols, but which class will you be playing next? And how did you like your Mindthief? I love playing a Mindthief, but obviously different people's experiences may vary. Angry Face. Oh, okay. Well, that's a fun class to play too. Very different from playing the Mindthief, no doubt about that. So 60 gold. We can't put poison on anything. We can just do like +1 attack on something. And we could do +1 attack on Venom Shiv, but I think that's wrong. I think probably just +1 movement on Special Mixture is correct. If we ever get the Helm, which there's a decent chance we'll try to get before we ever play this again anyway, this makes sense. It'll be good for us to have this. Then we have 30 gold left, so we can +1 on Thief Snack bottom. That's an interesting point. All right. Oh wait, hold on, hold on. Oh no. I gotta respond to something. I started playing solo campaign on TTS when playing for a year in a 4-player group. Okay. We actually can't enhance any more cards after this. This is our enhancement limit if we do this, because we can only have 5 cards enhanced for Prosperity 5. I think this is still correct, so we just have to go back and enhance one of these. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there was no better way we could really do this. There's no card we could have enhanced one half and then been well set up to enhance the other half, I think. All right, so in that case, let us just put some sort of a simple enhancement on one of these things. +1 move on open wound? Yeah, it's probably fine, actually. Give ourselves a move 6, so we can use those glorious boots, because with 64 gold, no, yeah, it's 25 gold plus 30, so 55 gold. So we'd be able to do +1 movement there. Or we could do +1 attack on the top of Swiftbow. What's interesting with Swiftbow is now that if we are going to go for the Crippling Poison build, the top of Swiftbow can actually be an attack 6, but the thing already has to be poison, so it doesn't really work. It's a limit enhanced cards brought into scenario, isn't it? Not an overall enhancement limit. No, it is a, to the best of my knowledge, it is a limit on, we can double check the rules real quick, is a limit on the number of enhanced cards you can have, period. The total number of enhanced cards in a class's ability deck must be equal to or less than the prosperity level of the town. Once placed, enhancement stickers, yes. So the ability deck refers to all of it. Your hand refers to what you bring into a scenario. So yes, we cannot enhance above our prosperity limit, even if we don't bring them all to the scenario. Yeah, so what I was going to say is Swiftbow, once we have poison on something, is actually nice, because then it's an attack 6 if we put +1. But if we have to get adjacent to things to poison them most of the time, it doesn't seem very likely that we're going to be able to use Swiftbow to hit them, or we're going to want to use Swiftbow to hit them. So yeah, I mean, +1 move on open wound is just fine. All right, there we go. So that costs us 55 gold, 25 gold for increased level, and 30 gold for a +1 move enhancement. So then we have 9 gold left, so not even enough left to make a donation. And we're done with our Scoundrel. All right, let's round up all her stuff. Put this over here. So just for anyone who is just joining, I'm going to link this again. This is the poll that we still have ongoing until we're done with both of our retirements. We'll keep the poll going, which is going to determine what we play next. We'll be playing a 3-player party. We'll be adding 2 of those 5 characters there. That's why multiple choices are allowed and encouraged. All right, let's just gather up all her cards. We can worry about correctly sorting them in the future. Let's grab our Scoundrel. There we go. So if you would like to vote, feel free to. What's the hotkey to gather cards like that? G. All right, so then all this stuff can be deleted. We have extra decks up here. Yep. So delete. All right, so the Scoundrel was at level 9. And this is the P3 lineage. All right. I was before too. Someone actually in Twitch chat a while ago pointed out to me the correct way to do it, which is a welcome change, to be sure. Okay, so then we get to mark. Oh, I'm an idiot. I've got to add the events. All right, well, first we get to mark music note. Oh, we already did that. We put this up here. And we need to go grab the Scoundrels events, which means I actually need to grab out a new Scoundrel to figure out which numbers they are. Which number they are. There we go. That's kind of stupid of me. Is that the mat? Yes, it is. I guess I shouldn't show people this. Well, except now the screen does kind of show it. Oops. Just tab that. All right. That number. I mean, well, people can look at this. It's not really a spoiler to know that which number event you have, since you just look on the back of your mat at any point and you're going to see it. But and same number here. All right. So added these events to the deck. I guess there's no need to shuffle it because I'll have to shuffle it when I put the Mindthief back in. So all right, we can redelete you. Oh, yeah. So where did all her stuff go? Because I keep her cards, obviously, since those have the enhancements. All right. So a sip of water. On to the Mindthief. So we gained 30 gold this scenario. This puts us up to 80. And then how much do we have here? Oops. No more 5s. All right. So 50. Just delete this. 100. 150. 190. 215, right? Let's try again. 50. 100. 140. 190. 215. Exactly. So 215 gives us 108. It is rounded up, I believe. God, I always get this wrong. I think it's rounded up. ECO. When we sell, we get it rounded up, right? Or is it rounded down? One thing's rounded down, one thing's rounded up. I think it's rounded up. Maybe its costs are rounded down for enhancements or something like that. No, that can't make sense. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of. Well, let's round down to be safe, and then worst case scenario, we can give ourselves 1 more gold. All right. So what do we say again? We had 215, which gives us, all right, then we'll say 107. So this gives us 187. I don't think the 1 extra gold there should make a difference either way. All right, so we can put all these items over there. Again, we do need to clean this up at some point. Let's flip this over now. Let's just do this before we do the other stuff. Yeah, again, like I said, seeing that number there really doesn't change anything. I don't know why I was spoilering it before. I mean, avoiding treating it as a spoiler. That's what I'm looking for. I don't remember about items either. It comes up pretty infrequently since there's so few 5s. Everything's usually base 10. All right, delete all this stuff. Make another one of these decks. Okay, so what are we doing for enhancements ourselves? So we have 187 gold. How many enhanced cards do we already have? I think not that many, right? We can enhance the attack on the bottom of Mind's Weakness. Yes, please. So we've got Frigid Apparition, which is enhanced, Empathetic Assault, which is enhanced, and I believe just Perverse Edge. That should be all of our enhancements. Yes. All right, with 187 gold, what is the best enhancement that we can get? Last time we did disarm on this. Sadly, we don't have that much money this time. So these are the cards we use most. I mean, we could consider enhancing the push attack, because it's so cheap to enhance. Putting disarm on it, but when we use this at higher levels, the traps usually kill or disable anyway, so this is kind of irrelevant. +1 target in here, I'm sure it's too expensive. That's not possible. Yeah, I don't really know. There's not really anything that's that appealing. I mean, that's why we did +1 attack on Frigid Apparition previously. Enhancing these cards, kind of irrelevant. Guess we could put just an element on Empathetic Assault. How expensive would that be? 175? It's kind of interesting. Just double down on the same thing here. Put Wound on the bottom for its edge. 75, 150. It's also pretty good. It's a card we're guaranteed to use all the time. Otherwise, Corrupting Embrace, it's gotta be pretty expensive. I mean, +1 attack is okay, but we can't really do more than that, right? 125, yeah, we couldn't do more than +1 attack there, which seems pretty bad. I mean, similarly, we could just do +1 attack on the bottom Dark Friends. We use it every time. But again, it's the same thing. Hold on a second. Does Corrupting Embrace count as multi-target? I guess it does, right? Or not, or no, should it not? Because you only affect one of the lines, and that line is not multi-target? That's an interesting question. I'm not sure if anyone, Isio, do you know the answer to that? Does this, are costs doubled in enhancing Corrupting Embrace? I mean, I don't think they should be, but maybe they are. It's been a while since I've checked the FAQ relevant to multi-target enhancement. Cranium Overload is a great move, so we could always put jump on it, but we have 2 jumps almost always anyway, so we don't need jump that much. It is single target attacks, I agree. You could put an element on Cranium Overload. How much would this be? 75 gold for the level. So again, it could just be single type element instead of both. Could do Dark or Ice. Either of those could set up doing an alternative than to Mind's Weakness build. It is doubled. Whew! That's so terrible. I mean, I wondered about that because that's why I asked. But yeah, I wondered if that couldn't be correct. Oof. Brutal. All right, I mean, whatever. We're just thinking about this too much. Let's just go with a really obvious choice here. Wound with Stun is great. So again, we already have the action is multi-target. So we already have enhancement here, so that's 75 gold, and wound is 75 gold, so this gives us 150 gold is the cost here. Where's the wound? There we go. So 150 gold. This leaves us with 37 gold, so we can put +1 movement on the bottom of Feedback Loop, which is pretty free. So same question again, Isio. Is Feedback Loop multi-target? Is the cost doubled here as well? It is, right? This multi-target doesn't just refer to attacks. Even though we can't enhance the muddle portion. Yeah, it is counterintuitive, but so it would be doubled here as well, right? Let's check this again. Wait a second. Isio, I'm actually not sure your interpretation is correct. So
double the base cost of an enhancement other than an attack hex if it is applied to an ability that targets multiple figures. So the action of Corrupting Embrace is multi-target, but the ability lines are not, because each of these are. Or no, the ability. No, the ability is the entire half. Yeah, no, I'm getting it backwards. Correct. God, now I'm confusing myself. Yeah, the ability is the card, so it's the half. So it is multi-target. It is applied to an ability that targets multiple figures. Yep. Yeah. I just did it backwards because then this is an attack action and then it's a single attack. Yeah. So the ability is the half. So this similarly would be doubled. So I can't actually even put +1 movement here. Woof. Let me double check the FAQ for this one because this one actually does matter. I'm not going to do the Corrupting Embrace one, but I actually would like to put +1 movement on the bottom of feedback loop. So let's just Control F enhancement. It's not actually in the FAQ properly either. Ugh, that's annoying. But I guess it's correct because this does have an ability. I mean, this ability does target multiple figures theoretically. Yeah, because it's target all. All right. So no +1 move on feedback loop. Well, that's unfortunate. So we can put +1 move on nothing really. I mean, another level 1 card. But we could run into prosperity limitations if we enhance another card that we're not really planning on using much. We could put it on Rat Swarm. Rat Swarm has even better initiative than Gnawing Horde. I mean, sorry. Yeah, Gnawing Horde has even better initiative than Feedback Loop, but it doesn't have jump, which sucks. We can't enhance jump here, and if we put +1 move on it, it'll never get jump. So I think it just ends up worse. It's better to have the jump. It's because we do get another jump from Corrupting Embrace, but Corrupting Embrace we like to be able to use the top a lot as well. So other than that, level 1 cards that could get +1 movement. Yeah, I mean, definitely not this. So then the only other choice would be Scurry. We could put +1 movement on the top. But if you're ever enhancing the top of Scurry, it's not really the movement you want to enhance anyway. Yeah, I think it's probably incorrect to do a +1 move on anything else because I think it could cause issues with limitation in terms of number of total enhancements. Well, all right, I guess this is free. So technically, we can actually put +1 movement on the bottom of Frigid Apparition because this costs only 30 gold. I mean, this is silly because you basically never use it, but I mean, it's this or a donation. I don't even care about donations because I don't want any more prosperity. So we can't do it here because we already have one enhancement there. We only have enough gold literally for +1 movement. There's nothing else that costs 30 to the best of my knowledge. I guess +1 range does? Or +1 heal. Ooh, or +1 pull or push. All right, never mind. Actually, so that's... Excuse me. That's better. So +1 range... I don't... No, there are no other level 1 range cards that matter. And we can't do higher than that. But +1 pull or push is relevant. We can actually put +1 push on Fearsome Blade. This is a kind of free, why not? So I don't really mind this. Yeah, if I was going to, I mean, this could make enhancing Fearsome Blade again worse, but to be honest, we use Fearsome Blade for a significant number of scenarios as the Mindthief anyway, so having this +1 push enhancement is not bad. It does something at least. It can occasionally be helpful. Also, it makes it more likely that the attack can actually be some form of CC against range or melee enemies because it can push them far enough back. I think it's more relevant than this. In this case, I think I'm fine with the enhancement limitation because it does actually add something rather than simply, putting +1 move on the bottom of Gnawing Horde, which we're never going to use anyway. So, all right. I'm going to link the poll just one last time for everyone, just in case. So the poll is linked there. You may go ahead and vote. Again, you're voting on which class we're going to play next, which classes, because there'll actually be 2 classes we'll be adding to our party as we replace both our Mindthief and our Scoundrel here. As I just finished doing the last things for Mindthief retirement. So what do we do again? Oh yeah, we put Wound on the bottom of... No, it wasn't Frigid, Perverse. Right? Yes, we did. All right, and then we put +1. Yeah, I just want to make sure I hadn't actually forgotten to sticker
the primary enhancement. All right, so let's set this up over here. Okay. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else we have to do. We've taken care of all that stuff. We get to put, oh yeah, we get to, what's your opinion on the TTS, on using the TTS monster ability cards as opposed to using Gloomhaven Helper? Well, I think TTS is sentient, but I suppose that normal monster decks are probably sentient as well. So, um, you mean for people who are playing in person, or you're saying you would use Gloomhaven Helper rather than using the TTS cards? What would be the advantage of doing that? Would be my question. Normally, I would just do this, but I'm curious to hear. So we can delete all this stuff. Oh yes, so because we successfully retired, but we already had the sun unlocked, we get a random scenario. I assume they would be clunky. Oh, using these is clunky? No, I think it's perfectly fine. It's mostly automated anyway. I haven't had any issues with it. I'm pretty happy with the way it works. I haven't never really used Gloomhaven Helper, so maybe it's smoother, but gotcha. Um, no, I mean they flip automatically every round, and it reshuffles when it gets the reshuffle. It's basically all automated as well. So I mean, for when you're playing on here, like yeah, if you're playing in person, I would definitely suggest using the app. But I think playing in here, there would be no reason that I could see to use the app additionally. All right, so we're gonna get a random side scenario. This I'm not gonna spoiler proof because I mean, this is not really spoilers. So we got 63 unlocked, but we will be spoiling a random item design in just a second. So everyone's been warned. Magma Pit. Where's this one at? It is at M1. Okay. All right. And now we are going to spoil a random item design. So I'll just quickly go through this, take one out. All right. So it's going to be, oh man, I moused over it. Ugh. All right. Well, sorry. Someone might have glimpsed the name in just a split second there, but we're spoiling item 72, Shoes of Happiness. And to be honest, knowing what this is when you see the number will at least prevent you from being excited before you flip over the card and then getting this and then being really sad. This is the worst item in the game. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna flip it over now. Everyone's been warned. We are flipping over random item design 72. I can't believe we got this. We just discussed this at least on the subreddit, so at least there's that. There's timeliness to getting this, but yes, this is a truly, truly, truly terrible item, and we will never be using it. Never, ever, ever. Goodbye, Shoes of Happiness. Goodbye, wasted random item design. That just sucks. Like this, that's such a feels bad, right? Honestly, I should have maybe just house ruled removing this from the game since we're not going to do an updated version of it. It just sucks. You know, you retire and you don't get much for retirement already when the class is already unlocked, but you're like, well, at least I get to draw a cool random item design. And then you draw Shoes of Happiness as your random item design. That feels awful. All right, let's clear up all this. Okay, so I'm going to take my customary eating break. I'm just going to have a little bit of soup, so it shouldn't take me too long, probably 15 minutes maximum, maybe closer to 10. We'll see. Try to eat quickly. The next scenario we'll be doing will be scenario 43. I'll start setting that up while I eat as well. I'll leave the poll up to give people the last chance to vote just up until I come back from eating, and then we'll have decided on our last two classes, and those will be the classes we'll play for our party going forward. So hang around. I'll be right back in just, like I said, around 10 minutes. Just have to eat.